Well, it's that time of the year again, that part of the season where some of USA Sprintcar stars' finest gather here at Claremont Speedway for the annual Speedweek against the local stars. And Con Migro, this lineup I think is one of the strongest we've seen in some time.
Well, it certainly is, Wade. I think that most people agree that Shane Kit Carson from Oklahoma, Donnie Kreitz from Pennsylvania, and of course Mike Swinney from California, between them they've probably, or the treble, they've probably won in excess of 1,000 feature races in their career. And when you take that sort of background, it indicates that we've just got sensational drivers.
They are very good drivers, but the Western Australians here on this particular circuit and at Bunbury, they're very tough to beat.
Well, when you've got men like Ron Cricky, 2 times national champion, I believe that Ron Cricky at this particular stage in his career is probably driving better than he was when he won the national title at Claremont here last season. So you look at that, then you've got other drivers there like Pino Priolo, who is going very well. Young Shane Murphy's running into top form. Mark Wells is back and looking very strong indeed. And then Gavin Migro and a whole host of other drivers. You know, the ingredients are there, and the West Australians are tough competitors. Claremont and Bunbury are very, very difficult tracks to get used to because the banking is not what the Americans are used to in America. So consequently, they have to use different driving tactics. And our boys have been racing here for the last 4 or 5 years, and they have a huge amount of local track knowledge, but nevertheless nothing can be taken from the ability of the Americans, and I believe that we're going to see some wonderful sprint car racing.
History tells us that the Americans will not so much struggle on the first 2 nights, but they adapt a little better on the 3rd and 4th nights of this series. Being a 4-night series, they seem to come out just to get used to the track on the first 2 and really let the guns blaze on the final nights.
Yeah, well, that's true, Wade, and I think that, you know, as I just said, I mean, our drivers are red hot at the moment, and with the national titles later on in January in Warrnambool and Victoria, of course, Ron Cricky has geared himself up. I believe that Speed Week, at the time it happens in Western Australia, at Claremont and Bunbury, it's wonderful for any driver preparing himself for a national title, because he gets 3 very talented men that really and truly get everyone wound up, and that provides great racing. It gets a top man like him even pumping a lot harder, and of course it makes it a lot easier for him to defend his national title.
4 nights of fast and furious sprint car racing ahead of us. 2 nights at Claremont, 2 nights at Bunbury. 3 of America's finest here against the local stars. It promises to be a great series.
Ready to move into heat number 1 of the sprint cars, and Todd Kenworthy gets the jump on Michael Lawton in car number 22. Barry Bradford in car number 24 in there, as well as Bateman streaks through on the inside of Rod Howe. Jeff Leeson down the back straight. So heading to turn number 3, Todd Kenworthy leading but up very high, and here comes Michael Lawton. A good look on the inside, gets through, and the Dodge powered Premier Smash Repairs 55 car of Todd Kenworthy up a little bit high, made it easy in the end for Michael Lawton and the Pennant Glass 22 car. Down the back straight, my word, there's some strong work going on back in the field as Leeson charges around the outside of Todd Kenworthy. He puts himself up into 3rd. Here comes the run for 2nd as well. Leeson stalking 2nd place. Like a leopard stalking his prey back there in 3rd place, but not looking forward to hanging back there for much longer. Down the back straight, Barry Bradford trying to keep him in check. Michael Lawton continuing to lead in car number 22. On the main straight, doing an excellent job in the Pennant Glass 22 entry. Barry Bradford back there in the Harding Transport 24 camper. Go back to the Just Toyota Wrecking 83 car of Jeff Leeson. Rob Bateman, Rod Howe and Todd Kenworthy. 2 laps left to go, and Michael Lawton's done it well. Took the lead early on in the piece, and it's going on with it very strongly. Barry Bradford seems to have shaken the shackles of Jeff Leeson for 3rd, and he's now stalking up to 2nd as Todd Kenworthy having a few dramas in the 55 car, pulling up a little. Going into turn number 3, Michael Lawton continuing to lead heat number 1 of the sprint cars tonight, brought to us by Dewey's Blue and Mobile. 1 lap left to travel, and Lawton's ready from here to here. Had a heat race win on Monday night, and looking forward to going on with it again tonight. Down the back straight, half a lap left to travel, and this is Michael Lawton at his best, a budget racer, and a man who loves his sport and does it well. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for him. Michael Lawton collects the win. 2nd to Barry Bradford in car number 24. 3rd, Jeff Leeson, back to Rob Bateman. Rod Howe in car number 10, and car number 55, Todd Kenworthy. Where's the Mark Wells fans? What about the Ron Cricky fans? Oh, you love it. You got to admit, when the Americans are in town, you're going to stay behind him if he has to get the job done. Geneva alongside Jeff Leeson, and we're underway. Heat number 2, and Wells very enthusiastic. Migro runs the high line. Oh, you don't have to be very brave. Down the back straight, not much. Rounds up the Gerald Jet. Mark Wells. Geneve leading his first heat back. After 9 years, he's back in front. Wells makes short work of Leeson. Sets sail after the veteran. Great Geneve back after 9 years out of the saddle. Priolo pushing for a strong run, loops it right in front of the field. Upside down goes Alan Haynes. How about Ray Genev storming through, and the number 12 Gambler. Good performance too. Mark Wells starting to look ominous early. So they all stay up on the fence side of the Witch's Hat. You'll see the steward pull it back in once the field has gone through, and it eliminates the chance of people ducking down the inside and stealing the lead off somebody who's earned the right to be there. Away they all go. Let's have a look at the remaining laps, and there's 5 laps left to travel, and Genev is looking forward to this. Jeff Leeson, look at Ron Cricky with Mark Wells, who goes underneath Jeff Leeson. Oh, this is awesome stuff. Round the outside goes Ron Cricky. That thing is just absolutely flying. Mark Wells in there as well. Leeson into the fence and upside down. Back on all 4, and have a look at Ron Cricky. Yellow lights are on, as you would expect. But that number 1 Murphy car is an absolute rocket ship on 4 wheels.
Believe you me, at 100 miles an hour when you're upside down, you don't know whether you're coming or going, and it is an awesome feeling. So the gentlemen take a wild ride. Sometimes when you look at Speedway, you think, well, I'm not going that fast. But when you see them unload like that, it gives you an example just how quick they are.
You might have just seen a protest flag come out at Ron Cricky in car number 1 just then as they went past. And have a look at him though on the outside again, trying to run on Mark Wells. Well, look for Genev here as they go around the outside. This is 3 wide stuff, and Cricky just sets it up and blows around the outside. And Ron Cricky is in awesome form. The protest flag did come out on him earlier. We'll watch with progress what's happening there. Look at Wells once more trying to get through on Ray Genev, but Genev is doing an outstanding job.
I think it's on Mark Wells, actually.
Well, the protest flag is coming out. We'll keep you posted on that one. Cricky continues to lead. Mark Wells is up on the 3/4 track trying to make short work of Ray Genev. And Genev is a wily customer. He knows how to stretch a race car across the track. Wells gets the outside run. This track is brilliant. This drive right up high. Now Genev just moves out, just prevents that move. Let's look at the times that Ron Cricky's putting in as the time clock stops at a 15:09, just outside what he qualified in the time trials with. And he is just leading this one with Wells. Again, Ray Genev driving very intelligently, just stretching that car across the line. He's a very intelligent driver. He's been around a lot of years, a lot longer than Mark Wells, and that's what he's relying on, his experience. 14:98 the time, 1 lap left to travel down the back straight. Ron Cricky at his brilliant best. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Winner of this heat of the Tooheys Blue Sprintcar Speedweek, the Bunbury Bullet. Ron Cricky as Wells tries it on Genev. Well done, Ray Genev. Great drive. 3rd to Mark Wells, 4th to Terry Guts, 5th to Shane Carson. We go back to Peter Harvey in car number 43. Well, what about Ray Genev, ladies and gentlemen? How's that for a drive? To hold out the Geraldton Jet when he's on the charge.
On the pole, Daryl Cricky getting ready for a start. This is going to be a big night for the young fella. The green lights come on and they're away and racing, and it's Donny Craig. Throws the car sideways off the end of the main straight. Thunders out of turn number 2, and look at Ryan Farrell up where angels fear to tread. Woo! Ryan Farrell absolutely burning, but out of turn number 4 it's Donny Kreitz from America. Then Gary Sartori working hard. Then back there once again and doing a good job at Daryl Cricky. But there's no doubt about Donny Kreitz out of turn 2, down past the quit sign, and Pino Priolo sitting right in the middle of turn number 4 as one car, oops. Oh, Gary didn't see that, and that could have been a bit of a bit and chain. Young Daryl Cricky's car starts to blow. Yep, the 4 wide, and Eddie Gobbies again. I tell you, he's been reading Ron Cricky's book, there's no doubt about that. Well, the officials are not going to be happy with that, but it's Don Kreitz once again. Throws the car off the end of the main straight, then back in 2nd place is Mike Sweeney. Look at the hombre, Gary Sartori. Then we find Shane Cricky, but Donny Kreitz throws the car into pit spin. Daryl Cricky's in all the trouble in the early settlers. Out of turn 4, down the main straight, 5 laps to go at the national capital speed. Donny Kreitz out in front, then back in 2nd place is Shane Cricky. Then back to Mike Sweeney, back to Gary Sartori, down past the quit sign as they throw the car into pit spin. Absolutely full pressure speedway here at the moment. Donny Kreitz out in front, Shane Cricky in 2nd place, Mike Sweeney, Gary Sartori, then back to Ryan Farrell, out of turn 2 at 100 miles an hour as they come off the end of the back straight in front of the time clock. Absolutely brilliant speedway. Donny Kreitz out of turn 4, thunders down the main straight, got the claw to the floor and he's going for more. Shane Cricky driving under protest. YG Alistair Colley is really a hard job as Donny
Donny Quate's done a wheel stand that time. Thunders into Pitts Bend. Look at these cars absolutely burn. Out of turn 4. 2 laps to go at the National Capital of Speed. Donny Quate's out in front. Back in second place, the man under protest, Shane Cricky. Then back to Mike Sweeney. 41 there is El Hombre, Gary Sartori. Donny Quate's with 1 and a bit laps to go. Out of turn number 4. Cricky's under protest, but he's burning at the moment. The white flag's out. 500 metres left to go at the National Capital of Speed. Out of turn 2 now, ladies and gentlemen. Down past the quit sign the last time. And it's the first blood for the United States of America. Out of turn number 4. Donny Quate's across the line first. Back in second place, number 2, Shane Cricky. Then back there to number 5, Mike Sweeney. 41, Gary Sartori. Number 20, Eddie Gommy. Number 96 there, going very hard indeed, is Ryan Farrell. And these men forgot to stop racing. As the green light comes on, it's Rob Bateman out there in car number 35. Car number 10 on the outside, of course, and going very well indeed is the Rocketeer in Rod Howe. He moves down past the quit sign. Michael Lawton in 22 up there in third place, and Barry Bradford in third place out of turn 4. 1 lap down and 3 to go, and it's the performance modification car of number 10, Rod Howe, leading this event very comfortably indeed as he moves out of turn number 2, down past the quit sign, throws the car sideways into Pitts Bend, moves up to a quarter track high run, then out of turn number 4, it's car number 10, the Rocketeer, Rod Howe, back to car number 35, Rob Bateman, and then number 22, Michael Lawton, and bringing up the rear is young rake Barry Bradford. So there it is at the halfway mark, out of turn 4, the white flag comes out, Rod Howe in car number 10, back to 35, Bateman, back to 22, and going well as Michael Lawton and the young Barry Bradford, not having the best of luck at the moment, but they go down past the quit sign for the last time, and as he moves out of turn number 4, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Rod Howe in car number 10 first, then back to 35, Rob Bateman, back to 22, Michael Lawton, and in third place, Barry Bradford in car number 24, as John Day now leads them into the main straight. The green lights go on. They go into the top turn for the first time. It's going very hard indeed. That driver, of course, is Kit Carson. Oh, look at Mark Wells on the outside of Ray Janine. They throw the car into Pitts Bend. Kit Carson out in front. Back in second place is Ron Cricky. Then back there to Mark Wells. Further back there to number 16. That driver doing a wonderful job there. And that's young Terry Cutts. Then back to car number 12, leading this event. As they move out of turn number 4, it's Shane Carson leads. Back in second place is Ron Cricky, then back to Mark Wells. A 15.05 that time for Kit Carson as he moves out of turn number 2, down past the quit sign. And this is brilliant action on the part of Shane Carson at the halfway mark. 3 laps down and 3 to go. Shane Carson out in front. Back there to number 1, Ron Cricky. Back to 21, Mark Wells. 16 is going very hard indeed. That driver, of course, and that is Terry Cutts, but there's no doubt about the American. Moves out of turn number 4 and down the main straight. Shane Carson out in front. Back there to Ron Cricky, then further back to 21, Mark Wells. A 15.01. Oh, Shane Carson is absolutely on fire. Throws the car sideways into Pitts Bend. The white flag comes out. Carson's got the claw to the floor. Absolutely brilliant. A 14.95. The American's burning up the raceway at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. What a sensational drive as he thunders down the back straight. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. That is an absolute brilliant drive. Oh, brilliant stuff. Yes, sirree. Shane Carson, Ron Cricky, Mark Wells. Oh, then back to Terry Cutts, and then Ray Janine, and then further back to Peter Hardy, and a 1:30.31. Oh, and Shane Kit Carson. Take a bow. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, as he does a lap. Let's hear it, Claremont.
This is heat number 6 of the sprint cars, the Tooheys Blue Sprintcar Speedweek, and look at Hombre Sartori right up alongside Sweeney. Green lights remain on. Sweeney definitely did not get the best of that. Donny Quate's down the back straight, protest flag hanging out at Gary Sartori yet again. So they go into turn number 3. Shane Cricky straightens up Mike Sweeney. Don Quate sets sail after him. Sartori leading, checking the protest flag, the black flag with the big white stripe down the diagonal. Tells it all. Gary Sartori running under protest, but isn't he putting in some big ones? Donny Quate's into second. Priolo, great drive for third. Shane Cricky really showing some form tonight up to 4th. Eddie Gubby back to Mike Sweeney and Ryan Farrell. As Shane Cricky takes on Pino Priolo, who's really fired up tonight. Backing into turn number 3, the big truckie from Maddington, El Hombre, Gary Sartori. Donny Kreitz is just beautiful to watch. The 69 car rarely puts a wheel wrong, runs very smooth, very straight. Down the back straight, Priolo tries to take him on. Going into turn number 3, Sartori setting this thing up beautifully. Up on the half-track run, nice and tight. And Kreitz is starting to be taken on by Priolo now. This is very exciting stuff. Laps are starting to tick by, and Priolo is taking on Donny Kreitz. The West Aussies are closing him down. The leader of the Pennsylvanian posse about to have some West Aussie WizKids latch themselves onto the tail. 1 to go, 15.53 from Sartori, and Donny Kreitz has got to run defensively now. Sartori down the back straight, and Sartori under protest. Kreitz hanging on for second. Look at Eddie Gobby closing him down. Sartori gets the win under protest. Donny Kreitz gets second from the USA. Third to Priolo, fourth to Shane Cricky, fifth to Eddie Gobby, back to Mike Sweeney and Ryan Farrell. The all-up time for the 6 laps, 1 minute 32.77, and Gary Sartori, checkered flag is out. We'll wait with interest to see what eventuates in the next couple of minutes. 1 minute 32.77, and Donny Kreitz is still hot to trot.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. It's showtime, and the sprint cars about to go ballistic here at the National Capital Speed as they'll start in the big feature race tonight as Pino Priolo absolutely burns away. Shane Carson grabs up into third place. Then on the outside comes Mark Wells as they thunder down the back straight, past the quit sign, throws the car sideways. Pino Priolo out in front. In second place is Ron Cricky. Back to Mark Wells, then back to Shane Carson. Further back to number 2 and going very hard is young Shane Cricky. But Pino Priolo absolutely fighting for survival. Down past the quit sign for the second time. The man from Osmond Park leads the man from Bunbury. Out of turn number 4 and absolutely burning up the raceway. Pino Priolo out in front, then back there in second place is Ron Cricky. Further back to Mark Wells, then back to Shane Carson, and of course young Shane Cricky past the quit sign at the halfway mark. 3 laps down and 3 to go, and it's Pino Priolo out in front. This will be a sensational race if he can win this one. Priolo leading the national champion. Ron Cricky burning at the moment. Back to Mark Wells. Shane Carson's there as they thunder down the back straight. Throw the car sideways into pits bend and out of turn number 4. Mark Wells is in more trouble than the early settlers at the moment. Out of turn number 4 for the last time, and Mark Wells is looking in a little bit of bother. Pino Priolo, a half a lap left to go, and the Bunbury Bullets coming at an absolute rate of knots. But come on now as they come out of turn number 4. The white flag's out. 1 lap to go at the National Capital Speed. Pino Priolo out in front. Absolutely a boil over tonight. Oh, and Shane Cricky tries to shove Shane Carson out the road. Oh, bashed him as they come out of turn number 4. Come on, Claremont. Let's hear it. Pino Priolo across the line first. Ron Cricky in second place. Back to 21, Mark Wells. Then back to Shane Cricky, a desperate Shane Cricky in number 2. Number 12, Shane Carson. And 41 there was Gary Sartori. And I can tell you right now, the man from Oklahoma would not be happy, would not be impressed with Shane Cricky's desperate driving then, as he threw everything at Shane Carson but the kitchen sink. As the green light goes on, and it's Rod Howe leads them into the top turn for the first time, and Rod Bateman trying on the outside and does it very well on the part of Barry Bradford as they move down the back straight past the quit sign. Michael Lawton bringing up the rear, but a good field of sprint cars now as it's Rod Howe driving very well. 1 lap down and 5 to go. Back to Rob Bateman, who has got a good car and he's not a bad driver. Rod Howe went slightly sideways. Bateman past the quit sign, makes it 2 wide, grabs the lead as he comes out of turn number 4. Down the main straight now, Rob Bateman, but Rod Howe fights back. Bateman out in front, then back to Howe. Further back in third place is Barry Bradford. 22 is Michael Lawton. Down the back straight, past the quit sign for the second time. And at the halfway mark, 3 down and 3 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is, Rob Bateman in 35. Back to number 10, Rod Howe. Back to number 24, Barry Bradford. Number 22 is Michael Lawton, but young Bradford doing a good job back there in third place. But Rob Bateman, the race leader, 2 laps to go at the National Capital Speed. Rod Howe on just a spot of bother that time, but he's still up in second place, and third place man is Barry Bradford. 22 there is, of course, Michael Lawton as they go down past the quit sign. for the second last time as the white flag comes out. This is the Mobile Sprint Car B main as they're moving out of turn 4. It's Bradford in third place still, but Michael Lawton grabs third place now. And Barry Bradford drops back to fourth position, but down the back straight for the last time, it's Rob Bateman in car number 35. Will go across the line first, back to number 10, the Rocketeer, Rod Howe. Then back in third place and going very well indeed is 22, Michael Lawton, and 24, Barry Bradford.
Priolo, Cricky, Wells, Carson, Cricky, Satori, Gobby, Sweeney, Kreitz, Cuts, Genev, Migro, Harvey, Bateman and Lawton. Well, whose race is this? Is it Ron Cricky's? Is it Mark Wells's? Oh, there's some heavy work going on between Cricky and Priolo. We're underway. Priolo tries to run with the bumpery boy. Round the outside goes Cricky. Makes short work of him. Oh, upside down, Eddie Gobby. Eddie Gobby just drove out of that. I do not believe it. So did Rob Bateman. And Eddie Gobby, if that wasn't the most spectacular thing you'll ever see. The car just pirouetted on the right rear tyre, and that was unbelievable. Gobby going no further part in this one. Look at Priolo. He does not want to be caught on the hop, and this time he hoses Ron. Let's see if he can enough room to do it again. I bet he doesn't try to. Down to turn number 2, Wellesley has a good look on the inside of Ron Cricky. Down the back straight into turn number 3. And Pino Priolo up way too high. Get it down, Pino, quickly. Oh, it was all too quick. Ron Cricky saw his chance. Priolo was left, hung out to dry. Wellesley up to third. Carson for fourth. James for fifth. Takes on the inside of Carson. Sweeney and Kreitz running back in the field. Look at Wellesley trying to take on Priolo. They touch wheels. Priolo, oh, good, strong work, Pino. Refuses to be intimidated by that. Onto the main straight, they charge. Ron Cricky flinching away. I thought Priolo might have had his measure for a while there, but Pino hanging on for second. Wells to third. Carson trying to hang on for fourth. Back then to fifth place. Shane Cricky, Gary Satori, Gary Curry. Back then to Mike Sweeney, Gavin Migro, Johnny Crane, Ryan Farrell, Ray Genev, Peter Hart, Rob Bateman, and Michael Lawton. And oh, Bateman up very nearly upside down. Cautions are on. And we are back under yellows. Yes, the green lights are on. Mark Wells just hosed Priolo. I'm not sure what'll happen in that regard, but Mark Wells is through. Gary Satori, his car is an absolute handful. It's a nightmare for him. He can barely hang on to this thing. Migro tries to squeeze through. They touch tyres. Kreitz and Sweeney trying to go either side of him. Oh, Sweeney, that was brilliant. He jumped on the brakes, back on the gas, and managed to get around Satori. That car is in a bad way. Gary Satori having a real handful. He pulls the car infield wisely. Oh, Peter Harvey nearly walloped the fence as well. Ron Cricky out in front, the number 1. Quit. Murphy, Kendrick Racing Car, leading this one at the moment from Mark Wells, pouncing up to second. Priolo up to third. Protest flag on Gavin Migro in car number 3. Not sure what that's for. And Ron Cricky sitting back, enjoying this. Mark Wells, the length of the main straight back to second. Third is Priolo. Carson has held on for a pretty fourth. Shane Cricky, oh, here comes Carson. Storms underneath Priolo. Peter had a bit of a moment midway through turn number 2, and Carson nearly had him for breakfast. Look at this. Carson now monstering him. You can see the American star just kicking back now. Realise that Priolo may be in a bit of trouble. Have a look at Ron Cricky lapping the field. Lawton now pulls infield the Ailing 22 car. Priolo is going to have a battle on his hands, so too. Shane Cricky coming strongly, and Shane Carson in car number 20. This is great stuff. Eddie Gobby, unfortunately, watching from the infield. Car number 20. Gavin Migro storming through in car number 3. Donny Kreitz right behind him, so too Ryan Farrell, Mike Sweeney, Ray Genev. Here comes Ron Cricky storming through the traffic. The courtesy flag being held out, and Ron Cricky is just blitzing this traffic. This is where he's a lot better than a lot of these guys out here. It's laps, it's experience, and it's almost a sixth sense. Being able to lap the traffic like Ron Cricky does. He goes through like he's got a sonar strapped on the front of this thing. Shane Cricky, what a drive it's been from him tonight. Trying to wear down Shane Carson. Look at Ron Cricky. He's going to lap right up to the placings here. Mark Wells still hanging on for a distant second place at the moment. Priolo up to third. Carson hanging on doggedly for fourth place. 13 laps left to travel. This is not over by a long shot, but Ron Cricky starting to show his superiority in traffic, about to lap His Kenrick Racing quid team partner in Ryan Farrell. The stark contrast, the Barrel car dirty from the other car's mud, and Ron Cricky's car brilliant white, super clean, and that's from keeping it well and truly in front of the traffic. Now Mark Wells trying to lap Ray Genev as Ryan Farrell doesn't realise who he's holding up here. Mark Wells is starting to close on Ron Cricky. He wants to get him out of the way. Sweeney just gets a lap put down as they head down the back straight. Ron Cricky wants to make fast work of Ryan Farrell because Mark Wells is definitely closing, but at the same time he's got his hands full with Ray Genev in car number 12. Wells tries to dive down low. This must be really anxious moments for Wells. He can see that Cricky's having trouble with Ryan Farrell, but he can't seem to penetrate the defences of Genev. Now he moves him up track. Good move, Mark Wells. He still has the time. 10 laps left in this one. Cricky is being balked. Wells is definitely starting to close him down. Down the back straight, Ron Cricky was starting to get frustrated. He's going to have to force a move very shortly. Ryan Farrell would not know who it is that's on the inside. He thinks it's just another competitor. And Mark Wells is closing them both down. Sweeney, pretty soon, if he sees the lap flag, will move aside and Wells can have a good, clean look. Now Cricky goes through. Tense moments aside. Ron Cricky can breathe a sigh of relief. 8 laps left to travel. Mark Wells storming up to second. He just about saw the race lead disappear then. I think he had a good chance at it if Ron Cricky was balked by Farrell for any longer, but he couldn't. Pino Priolo storming up to third. Good drive from Shane Cricky for fourth place at the moment. He's hosed Shane Carson, who's dropped back to fifth. But Ron Cricky continuing on his merry way, puts a lap down on Donny Kreitz. Back to second, it's Mark Wells. In third, it's Pino Priolo. Great drive from him. Fourth place, it's Shane Cricky. We go back a long way to Shane Carson. Oh, who's that? Like Gavin Migro upside down going into turn number 3. Beg your pardon, it is not Gavin Migro in car number 3. He's still out there. Looks like it may well be Mark Wells in car number 21. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Geraldton Jet. Mark Wells out of the car. That was a hard ride. Thank you very much. The biggest birthday present Shane Carson could have had was third place, and Pino just handed it to him. Midway through turn number 3 and 4, Ron Cricky bleeding away from this field at the moment. Oh, Gavin Migro storming across the curve, got a little bit out of shape, and Ryan Farrell going back through underneath. They touch. Going into turn number 1, that was close. Ron Cricky with just 3 laps left in front of him is hanging on out there in front. Shane Cricky up to second. Shane Carson, he's been hanging in there. It's been a consistent drive for him. Priolo back to fourth. Can feel very unlucky and probably a little disappointed with himself. He just had that moment. But luck can be a fortune, and Carson has managed to hang on for third. Ron Cricky with 2 laps left to travel, 15:29, so he's not hanging around. Very respectable lap times. Down the back straight, 1.5 laps left to go. Shane Cricky in car number 2. Shane Carson in car number USA, $12. Back to Ray Genev, but spare teammate almost these days is Pino Priolo, but with half a lap left to go. Ladies and gentlemen, what a drive it's been for the man we call the Bunbury Bullet. He's the Australian Sprint Car Champion. He is unbeatable here at Claremont. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Checkered flag is out. The win goes to Ron Cricky. Second, Shane Cricky. Third to Shane Carson. Fourth to Pino Priolo. Fifth to Donny Kreitz. Sixth to Terry Cutts. Ryan Farrell. Gavin Migro. Mike Sweeney. Peter Harvey. And Gary Satori. But the 2 Cricky boys celebrating the win down the back straight. Look at this. Shane on the inside. Uncle Ron on the outside congratulating him. Come on, race fans. Put your hands together. He's unstoppable. Ron Cricky takes the win. Shane Cricky gets second. Third, great drive to Shane Carson. We go back to Pino Priolo, a little bit disappointed, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Donny Kreitz, Terry Cutts, the last 5 laps went down to 1 minute 16.62.
Thanks very much. Here's Shane. Shane, congratulations. From Mobile Company, congratulations, mate.
I appreciate this. I tell you, that's a tough run. Ron's definitely got it together. I think the Cricky's got the hold on this place, but maybe we can change that later.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shane Carson. And another Shane. There's more Shanes and Seans around Claremont than you're going to poke a stick at. In second place, Shane Cricky.
Yes, thanks, Con. I'd like to thank Claremont Speedway for making this Speedweek event happen. It really is a very good event. I'd like to thank Tui's for presenting this evening. Shane, Carson and Ron, congratulations must go to them. My crew's worked very hard this week, and I'd love to thank Mobil as well, and all the sponsors on our car. Thanks very much.
And ladies and gentlemen, the man who's won the Mobil night tonight, round one of the 1994 Tui's Blue WA Sprintcar Speedweek. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for Ron Cricky. On behalf of Mobil and the Swan Brewery, Ron, congratulations on another fine drive.
Thank you very much. You there? That's it. Firstly, it's great to see so many people turn out tonight. It's good to have all you people here and cheering us on. It's great to have Tui's Blue tied up in it. Pity Glenn didn't bring down some cold ones, but we'll get them next time. But I'd like to put special thanks to our sponsors and our crew in Sean and Jeff and all the other guys like Mick and my brother John and those guys helping us out, working on the cars, getting them ready. They've got 2 cars to prepare, so it's a hard job. And Quit, 96 FM, Triple M, AMCAP BBK and Castrol. Also like to thank the other guys, Shane for second and third. Thank you.
Okay, well here we are on the Westliner coach running down to Bunbury for night 2 of the Speedway. As you can see, a fairly quiet bunch travelling down to Bunbury for night number 2. Shane Carson, a good performance I think on your first night. You fared the best of the American team.
Yeah, Wade, I got the best car. I think so.
That always has something to do with it.
Yeah.
The car did feel very good as a brand new Murphy car. How does that compare to some of the drives you've had in the States?
Well, it's the first time I've driven a coilover car in probably, well, in about 10 years, so it's getting a little bit used to that and getting used to a new car. It usually takes me a race or two.
The Claremont surface and the size of the track has actually changed a fair bit since you raced here in '87.
Yeah, you know, it seems like turn 3 and 4, it's a little bit rougher. It hadn't really packed down good yet, but I like the shape of it. It's pretty racy.
Now, Bunbury, have you raced here before?
Nope, never been here.
Okay, it's a little bit more tacky than Claremont. It can get a little bit slick towards the night if they do put a bit of sand down on it, but it's a lot more drivey, a lot more what you're used to in the States, so you must feel a bit better about that.
Does it got any bank to it?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of camber.
I like the banks.
Now, Donnie fared pretty well. He looked good in his first heat, although perhaps in the final did not such a strong run, but Mike had a lot of problems. So are the guys regrouping?
Yeah, they're all trying to, you know, get their motor deal squared away. They've got, you know, anytime you got 3 cars, it's kind of a nightmare for the guy working on them because they don't know where to go first. So, you know, I think they'll get a little closer tonight.
Luck can be a fortune during racing. Last night, I think you had 4th held down and Pino Priolo in 3rd. Had a little moment where he got up in the marbles and just about handed you 3rd place.
Yeah, which car was that?
That was the 8 car in front of you.
Yeah, the 21 car, he definitely handed me a position because he went right into the wall. But the 8 car, he got out a little bit off the groove there. He was trying a little bit higher groove on the restart. He said he messed up, and I agreed.
When you got a problem with a kingpin like Mark Wells did, where you get in the back straight and throw it to the turn, it just doesn't stop. But do you have time to think about anything?
No, there's nothing you can do. You're just along for the ride after that.
Now, what's left for you, Shane? You've been racing for near on, 25 years now. What's left in front of you?
Well, we still run the World of Outlaw shows in the U.S., and I promote shows too. So I'm sure I'll be able to stay busy, involved in racing, even if I decide to retire.
Well, at least you got 52 fans here at for night number 2 for Bunbury. All the best tonight, Shane.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I started in the quarter midgets when I was 5 years old, and then when I went from the quarter midgets, I could only race up until the age of 13, and you had to kind of quit from there. And then it was half midgets, but half midgets you have to start at 15. So what my dad did was get me involved in motocross. Then I became like 250 expert by the time I was 15 years old. And then I wanted to race AMA flat track, the full-on Harley-Davidson things. And me and my dad went to a race together, and I had already been offered a ride, and I ran one night. And we went there and seen 2 guys get killed in one night. And my dad just said, hey, you know what, you're going to drive the family sprint car, and you're going to do what I said. So I drove for my dad.
Now let's talk about your family. I mean, there's Sweeneys everywhere, and your father was a great racer.
Yeah, it's not hard for me to talk about, but like this has been 14 years ago. My dad was in a speed car accident at Ascot Park, and he was in a coma for 2.5 years, one of the longest comas almost that you'd ever hear of. And it just gave me the inspiration to become a better race car driver, and I wanted to do it for the name, you know. And I came back and won like 30 main events, you know, after that had happened to him. So, you know, people would always come up to me and say, well, how's your dad doing? Well, what the hell you think? He's laying in a coma, you know? And them kind of things would make me mad and just want to just do better.
And so begins heat number 1 of night number 2 of the Tooheys Blue WA Sprintcar Speedweek. From position number 1, Mike Webb. Right alongside him, Gavin Migro, as Daryl Cricky gets very sideways across the field. Mike Webb on the inside of the Oklahoma driver, Shane Carson, who rounds him up and heads up into 3rd place behind 2nd place driver, Ryan Farrell in car number 96. They come out of turn number 4. Our race leader, Gavin Migro, in car number 3 with a bonnet starting to pick up on that car. The rest of our field charging through. Mike Sweeney on the inside. Daryl Cricky, rode a wheel but managed to keep the car going around the outside of Mike Sweeney. Daryl Cricky in a mean mood around the outside of Mike Webb now. And Daryl Cricky charging through this field. There's the battle for 2nd place between Shane Carson, the USA 12 car, right behind the rookie Ryan Farrell. They head down the back straight once more. Ryan Farrell holding down a nice low line, forcing Carson to come up with an outside run. There's our race leader, Gavin Migro. Look at the bonnet of the 3 car. The front clips on that bonnet are not done up. We can see it during wheel packing a little bit earlier. There was going to be a problem. Let's hope for Migro's sake that it stays nailed down. The car is very loose in the front end. You can see the front wheels are up in the air quite a bit. Seems the steering is very light, but the car is sitting right down on the rear wheels, and that helps you get the drive out of the turns. So Gavin Migro and the number 3 Performance Modifications car, prepared for competition by Brian Sadler. A long way back to 2nd place, Ryan Farrell in car number 96. Daryl Cricky up in 4th, Mike Sweeney, Pino Priolo and Donnie Kreitz in car number 69. Having a few problems, Mike Webb and Michael Lawton at the rear, but here comes our race leader, Gavin the Gasman Migro. There's that bonnet. You can see it starting to lift up inside the down tubes. Let's hope for Migro's sake it stays down in its present position, because if it starts to build up any higher, Migro may have a problem seeing the track in front of him. 1 lap left to travel for our race leader, Gavin Migro, in the Performance Modifications Mobile North Shore Marine car. Down the back straight for the final time. Wisps of blue smoke starting to appear in the car. He guns the car off turn number 4, an excellent win. Heat number 1 of the Tooheys Blue WA Sprintcar Speedweek for night 1 goes to the gas man, Gavin Migro. 2nd to Ryan Farrell. 3rd, Shane Carson. 4th, Daryl Cricky. We go back to Mike Sweeney, Pino Priolo and Donnie Kreitz. Okay, there is what we call the cushion building up on the track surface out there. You can see it's quite hard down low. The cushion itself runs right through the middle of our screen there, and the loose dirt on the far right hand side. Now what the drivers will hope to do is hook the right rear inside that cushion of dirt, and it provides almost propels them out of the corner, locks them in much the same way as a berm does in motocross. If you hop over on the other side of that car, of that particular cushion, you can lose quite a lot of drive. So you'll see that cushion move out towards the edge of the fence as the night wears on, but right at this moment you must stay inside that if you're going to come up with something special, and you're going to go for the outside run. Well, full marks to you, but as you can see, the hard track down low is where the drivers will try to remain and hook that big right rear tyre inside the cushion. Okay, so begins heat number 2 of the Tooheys Blue Sprintcar Speedweek, and away goes Terry Cutts. Ron Cricky starting from the back. Let's watch the progress of the big guns as they work their way through turn number 2. Down the back straight, Eddie Gobby up on the outside of Shane Cricky. Whoa, Eddie Gobby. What a move as Shane Cricky heads towards the fence. Shane Murphy sandwiched in the middle of it. Ron Cricky involved. Todd Kenworthy spins the model. It's happening all over the place out here. Todd Kenworthy spins to the infield. Shane Murphy has dropped the front wing. Ron Cricky's involved, and this track is serving up some dynamite racing. Restart of heat number 2. We're underway. This looks like a better start. Gary Santori got a big charge. There's Mark Wells on the inside line. Loops it right in front of the field. Keeps the car going and disappears in a cloud of dust as Todd Kenworthy again loses the 55 car. well streets away, but there you see Todd Kenworthy stalled the car coming out of turn number 2. Our race leader is Terry Cutt from Gary Satori back there in second. See the dust that's clearing across the circuit. Shane Cricky, a vastly improved driver, looks for the inside run of Satori onto the main straight and straight at our camera position. See these cars twitch on the clay. Gary Satori leading this battle for second at least over Shane Cricky, but Terry Cutt so far putting together a blinder of a drive. Going into turn number 3 and 4, Satori goes high. Shane Cricky, they touch wheels, but Cricky is able to get through up into second place. These guys pushing very hard. Satori picks the front wheels up. Dropping back now to third place. Shane Cricky starting to put Terry Cutt under the hammer. This is great racing. Terry Cutt still leading. Have a look at Shane Cricky wearing him like a glove. Trying for the inside run, just kicks off the cushion a little. Look at this battle, heads up. Cricky looks to go inside. Terry Cutt closes the door on him. Good move. He doesn't want to let him through on the inside. If you're good enough to do it on the outside, he's saying. And this is turning out to be a dogfight between 3 cars. Oh, Cricky got a big bicycle. Eddie Gobby lines him up on the inside. Oh, this is great racing. Shane Cricky forced to reassess his options as Gobby takes him high. Well, that was fairly powerful stuff from the fast Eddie Gobby. He's up to second place now. Shane Cricky back to third, forced to reassess his options. Still leading this. Terry Cutt, who gets a moment, hooks the cushion, and here comes Eddie Gobby from the infield. This is all happening. Terry Cutt's leading from Eddie Gobby. Shane Cricky is still in there. You just saw Satori's car come into the picture. It's happening all over the place out here. Shane Cricky again goes underneath. A shower of sparks from underneath as the car crosses the curve. Terry Cutt collects the win from Eddie Gobby. Shane Cricky and Gary Satori, but what a great race. And full credit to our race winner, Terry Cutt, under immense pressure. And so we come to heat number 4 of the 1994 Tui's Blue Sprintcar Speedweek. This is night number 2. Gavin Micro alongside Daryl Cricky, Shane Carson, right alongside Pino Priolo, with Ryan Farrell and Donny Kreitz making up the top 6 in this one. Micro chasing 2 wins from 2 starts. They head into turn number 1. Priolo slipping through there. Carson! And Daryl Cricky upside down in a big way. And so, with that unfortunate accident involving Daryl Cricky, the field reassembled for the restart of heat number 4 of the Tui's Blue Sprintcar Speedweek, night number 2. The Americans, all 3 of them in this. Mike Sweeney was very keen on the outside. Priolo leads him into turn number 1. Micro through into second. Yellow lines remain on. And we'll pick them up at the restart. Well, quite often a race accident like the one that just involved Daryl Cricky can set the old nerves a bit afraid in the following event, and at the moment the guys are pretty towy. Micro leads him into the turn number 1 this time. Priolo goes in low. Oh! How did Micro save that? Sweeney got an absolute flyer, puts himself right up behind Kreitz. There they are, Donny Kreitz and Mike Sweeney. Round the outside goes Shane Carson. Strong move around the outside of Priolo. As they come out of turn number 2, Shane Kid Carson chasing our race leader, Gavin Micro, as they go into turn number 3. Look at Carson use the outside run. They come onto the main straight once more. Gavin Micro, the gas man, leading the Oklahoma star, Shane Carson, down the back straight once more. Now Carson will use the outside run, Micro running down low. 2 contrasting racing styles. And look at Carson now, smoke down on the inside. Priolo trying to make a fist of this as well. Back to Kreitz, Sweeney. Go back to Ryan Farrell and Michael Lawton. Micro has bought a little bit of ground, if anything, on Shane Carson going into this one. As they come onto the main straight, halfway there, 16:76 on the time clock for Micro. There's Donny Kreitz on camera. Shane Carson up into second. Priolo, if anything, is starting to close down the real estate between himself and second place driver Shane Carson. Micro, if anything, as the race has gone on, has looked a lot better. Out of turn number 2 and down the back straight, Micro continuing to pull the ground on second place. driver from the USA, Shane Kit Carson. Well, I thought that Carson might have been mounting a challenge on Migro early on, but if anything, young Gavin Migro's been able to weather the storm. The 37-year-old sprint car star from Oklahoma in the USA, Shane Carson. There's Mike Sweeney on camera. Ryan Farrell, the rookie, trying to make something quite special to pick up another position. Mike Webb retires in the All Facets Financial Services 26 car from Albany. Down the back straight, there's our race leader, Gavin Migro. Laps are starting to tick by now, and Migro seems to have this one in his keeping. Onto the main straight, checkered flag is out. Shane Carson collects second, Priolo for third, back to Donnie Kreitz for fourth, Mike Sweeney and Ryan Farrell. All up time, 2 minutes 15.45. Heat number 5 of the WA Sprintcar Speedweek, night number 2. Proudly brought to us by Tui's Blue and Aussie Metro if you're at Bunbury Speedway. Gary Stazori starting alongside Rod Howe. Terry Cutts, Ron Cricky. Oh, Eddie Gubby went very sideways coming off the turn. It wasn't a good looking start. This field charging into turn number 1 and 2. Shane Cricky looking for the outside run as they head down the back straight. Eddie Gubby slipping through as well. Our race leader is Gary Satori. Ron Cricky sitting right in behind him as they come onto the main straight. Shane Murphy dropping through as well. Rod Howe, Peter Harvey involved. They head down the back straight to turn number 3. Gary Satori leading at this stage. Here comes Ron Cricky, about to show the form that has made him a 2-time Australian Sprint Car champion. But Gary Satori in the best form of his life behind the wheel of the 41 car. And he is really in some impressive form in recent weeks. Cricky's starting to wear him hard. They come onto the main straight. Oh, Satori got a big moment coming off the turn. Cricky trying to search for the inside run. Satori won't let him through. Down the back straight. Good racing, Gary Satori. Opens up the big 41 car. They had problems last night in the feature, and Satori looking to avenge that now. Onto the main straight, Gary Satori, the big truckie from Maddington, leading this one. The car is very tight. It's driving through the turns, very straight, and he's getting a lot of corner speed. Ron Cricky trying to come back at him now. Satori sets up, drops down low. Thought he might have been coming off the turn quite high, but he switched his line midway through the turn. Going back through our field now. There's Mark Wells, not having the best of nights. Oh, great stuff indeed between Cricky and Satori. Satori continuing to lead, but Cricky throwing everything at him. Protest flag out on one particular driver, might have been Cricky. We'll wait and see. Down the back straight once more, Gary Satori. What a great drive it's been from the Hombre. Cricky once again lines up the inside run. 1 lap left to travel. This is going to be an exciting finish. Cricky doesn't want second, and Satori doesn't want to let him have the win. Down the back straight for the final time. Satori holds the car down low. Cricky looks for the outside run. Hombre Satori, lap traffic. Oh, Cricky cannoned into the back of him. Satori gets the win. Murphy might have just snared second on the line. We'll have to wait and see. What a finish. Cricky up behind Satori. Satori is none too impressed with the fact that he was drilled from behind, but that is what an exciting finish to a very exciting heat. This is the pole dash for tonight's round number 2 of the Tui's Blue WA Sprintcar Speedweek. The order with which they finish this event is the order in which they start the top 6 positions in the feature, and already some shenanigans on the front row, but Carson got the best of it. Oh, Ron Cricky came straight across the bows of Carson. He did not want to let him get the outside run. You can see that. The Kendrick Murphy quit team. Ron Cricky, he's a desperate man. He doesn't like coming second. It's not in his vocabulary. Carson running back there in second. We run through the field. Priolo at this stage holding down 5th. There is our race leader in the gap between himself and the American star, Shane Carson. Cricky dialing himself in. He wants pole position for this big feature race coming up. Eddie Gobby's starting to wear down Shane Carson in car number 20, but at this stage, Carson seems to have Gobby's measure. Let's have a look and see what the Bunbury star Eddie Gobby can muster. Cricky getting stronger as this event goes on. Eddie Gobby up very high, nearly loops it. Shane Cricky nearly managed to slip through on the inside. Fast Eddie Gobby went for the big outside move on Carson. It didn't quite come off. Cricky continuing to turn up the heat. 15:39 the time, and this car is motivating around the Bunbury City Speedway tonight. He looks very strong. If he wins tonight, it'll be back-to-back feature races, round 1 and round 2 of the Speedweek. 1 lap left to travel. Carson holding down second, Gobby coming back at him. Eddie Gobby has a very fast race car, and he's making life uncomfortable for Carson as they go into turn number 3. But Ron Cricky, you cannot deny this man. He takes the win in the trophy dash, gets pole position. Shane Carson will start right alongside him. Gobby will start from 3. Shane Cricky from 4, Priolo from 5, and Don Kreitz from 6. Okay, this is it. Feature race time for round 2 of the WA Sprintcar Speedweek, brought to us by Tui's Blue. Away we go. Green lights come on. Oh, Cricky and Gobby got together. Yellow lights are on. Well, Eddie Gobby and Shane Cricky touched wheels, and Shane Cricky got a lot of air underneath the rear wheels of the number 2 Gambler. This is bad. When they screw around this much, there's usually trouble when they get it going. Here comes the protest flag. Who's it to? Must be at Ron Cricky. You watch, Shane will play him off a break too, you watch. Bit of international war on nerves here at the moment. Carson is probably hoping that Ron Cricky will make the move on the inside a bit too early. He's a wily customer, Shane Carson from Oklahoma. Let's wait and see. Cricky alongside Carson, Gobby alongside Shane Cricky, Pino Priolo and Don Kreitz. Let's have a look at the start this time. Oh, Carson got hung out to dry. Cricky got the benefit of the start. They charge through this field. Mark Wells exits stage left. Eddie Gobby looks for the big one on the inside. Look at Mark Wells. Shane Murphy's in there, so too is Pino Priolo. Eddie Gobby up to second place, Carson for third. Right through this field, Shane Murphy charging up into a respectable 6th or 7th place at the moment. Ron Cricky is absolutely bolted like a rocket ship. He has left this field and pulled the length of the main straight within 3 laps of this event. This is unbelievable speed from Ron Cricky. On the screen at the moment, here's the battle between Ryan Farrell and Shane Murphy for what would be 6th position. Murphy trying to get by the young charger, Ryan Farrell, in just his rookie year. Farrell doing a good job. Shane Murphy battling hard, tries to get inside him as they go down the back straight. He does. Murphy moves up another place. Hectic stuff indeed. Onto the main straight we go. Gobby for second, Carson for third, Shane Cricky for fourth. Murphy's in there as well. Gary Sartori having a great start with Mike Sweeney. Sweeney coming off second best. Sartori able to hold him off. Gary Sartori, this battle continuing. This is on for young and old, everywhere you care to look. Gavin Migro trying to negotiate Todd Kenworthy. The lap traffic starting to come into play now. Gary Sartori in there. Sweeney drops down low. Look out, Sartori trying to come down underneath Gavin Migro as they go into turn number 1. Sweeney chasing hard with him as well. Terry Cutts going high, seems to have a problem. Carson's in there, so is Murphy. And Ron Cricky's charge through this field is unbelievable. There's Gavin Migro, Gary Sartori, Mike Sweeney, Mark Wells. Terry Cutts and Shane Cricky having a good battle. There's Shane Murphy and Shane Carson. So Murphy hoses Shane Carson and moves up another position. This is on. Shane Cricky chasing hard, trying to get underneath Terry Cutts. What an unbelievable spectacle this has turned out to be. Shane Murphy on the inside of Shane Cricky. Oh, they touch wheels. Shane Cricky pulls away. Murphy and himself just came together coming out of turn number 2. Terry Cutts driving well. Look at this battle. Shane Cricky into it. Shane Murphy. Shane Carson trying to stay with them both. Todd Kenworthy retires the 55 car. This is hectic stuff. Look at this battle with the traffic. Sweeney goes in underneath Satori. It doesn't come off. Wells has Sweeney. Ron Criggy starting to lap Sweeney now. Goes for the inside line. Sweeney wouldn't realise who it was just yet. Tries to hold him out. They head down the main straight. Ron Criggy lapping traffic. Eddie Gubby is not far behind. Sweeney goes very high and Ron Criggy able to skip through. He now pulls well clear. Look at him now trying to step underneath Gary Satori. He does. Criggy's just in his brilliant best. The number one Kendrick Racing Team Murphy is absolutely hauling the freight. Trying to go underneath Micro now. Unfortunately, these cars in front would not know that they're being lapped. Such has been the devastating pace at which Ron Criggy has come through this field. Eddie Gubby having a good battle now, trying to chase down Ron Criggy. Micro again, battling hard with Ron Criggy. Eddie Gubby is very close. Ron Criggy is still leading, but Eddie Gubby, you can see him behind Satori now, and Eddie realises that he has almost got a shot at Ron Criggy if he can clear the traffic. Going into turn number 3. Ron Criggy still trying to pass Gavin Micro. Now he gets through, just in the nick of time. Look at Eddie Gubby. He is desperate, absolutely desperate, and Satori takes him back. Ron Criggy pulling away now. There's Eddie Gubby on your screen, trying very hard to get past Gary Satori. He can sense he had a chance at Ron Criggy then, and I think it might have just gone out the window. He pushed the car very hard into turn number 3. Shane Criggy continuing to do very well, holding down a consistent placing. Upside down, Eddie Gubby goes. It is quite possibly Eddie Gubby and Gary Satori.
Well, all I can reiterate is what I've been told at the stewards meeting, and that is if you're coming up, if you're the car that is being lapped, you must hold your line and let the guy go through. Now, I think the people of Bunbury saw what happened. I came up on Gary, I'd got past him once, he knew he'd been lapped. I must admit I came in on very, very quick on him, probably 20, 30 mile an hour quicker than him because he lifted out. Gary appeared to hit the rut that was there and his car launched a bit. I launched as well, but I was 3/4 of the way past him before I made contact with him. I feel bad what's happened to Gary's car, but I feel bad what's happened to mine as well. My sponsor's put up a lot of money as well, you know. But why in the hell didn't the guy move out of the way? That's all my argument is. Gary's a good friend of mine, but move out of the bloody way the same as I do when I'm being lapped. You know, a couple of years ago when guys were going past me, I'd move out of the way, and all I ask is for is the same respect. You know, most of the guys in that feature race, we passed them on the outside. I was coming in on Ron, and when you're chasing someone like Ron Criggy, he is the best in Australia. I must admit, I had sights on catching him, and I think your video will show I was pulling him in, right? And all I had to do was get past Gary and I would have had a crack at him, you know? All I say is, why didn't Gary move out of the way? That's my only argument, you know? Move out of the way, you know? The whole thing pisses me off, you know? To think the stewards are carrying on about it. What they should do is perhaps view the video evidence and go back and have a look at, you know, some of the things that have happened in the past, you know? To be quite honest, you know, I'm pretty easy to get along with, but I tell you what, some of the stewarding around here, they're pretty gutless, they're inconsistent, you know? That's about the only way I can sum it up.
Okay, this is the restart. Shane Murphy has come right up from the back of the field. He just waved to Ron Criggy a little earlier to let him know he was there. Green lights are on, away we go. Criggy leads the restart. Shane Murphy is up to second. Shane Criggy for third. Shane Carson pushing hard for fourth. There's Mike Sweeney, well back in the field at this stage. As they go out of turn number 4 and down the back straight, look at Mark Wells on the inside. Oh, Wells, he spins it. Does he keep the car going? Priolo's in there as well, and we are in restart mode again. Restart yet again. Criggy leads them away once more. Murphy in tow. Shane Criggy's up to third, Carson for fourth. Here comes Ryan Farrell around the outside. Onto the main straight, Criggy leads. There's Murphy, Shane Criggy, Shane Carson, Ryan Farrell, Gavin Micro, Mike Sweeney, Terry Cutts. Mark Wells makes short work of Priolo and takes Donnie Kreitz as well. This is some good stuff going on at the minors at the moment. Oh no, Sweeney's lost it right in front. Terry Cutts, he keeps the car going, but Cutts can't. Restart coming up again. Oh, look at the tyre on Mike Sweeney's car. Look at this. It's peeled right off the rim, and that is why Mike Sweeney cannot continue. Oh, what bad luck indeed for Mike Sweeney.
Terry Cutts to get himself mobile one more time.
Restart yet again, an incident-packed night number 2 to WA Sprintcar Speedweek. Our race leader is still Ron Cricky, Shane Murphy in tow and trying to manufacture something. Oh, there's a battle going on for third between Shane Carson and Shane Cricky. Oh, this is great stuff. Mark Wells underneath Gavin Migro, who heads infield and goes around. Oh, keeps the car going. Well done, Gavin. Back onto the circuit, it cost him ground, but a brilliant job to keep the car going. There is our race leader on camera now, Ron Cricky, the Australian champion. Mark Wells chasing him back there in the field, chasing Ryan Farrell. Shane Murphy hanging on for second. Look at this battle here between Shane Cricky, Shane Carson, Ryan Farrell and Mark Wells, who is really starting to come on strong. Down the back straight, oh, Mark Wells makes him earn it as they go into turn number 3. 1 lap left to go, and Ron Cricky absolutely clearing away as Ryan Farrell has the moment on the main straight. Whereas our race leader out in front and not to be seen. Ron Cricky collects the win. Second goes to Shane Murphy. Third just will go to Shane Cricky from Shane Carson, and Mark Wells finishing strongly with Ryan Farrell in car number 96. Back to Don Kreitz, Pino Priolo, Terry Cutts with the front wing smashed across the front of the car, and Gavin Migro in car number 3, but Cricky the victor as he takes the checkered flag on his parade lap.
7 to go and we're in front. I noticed, I think it was Shane Carson second. No, it's not, sorry, it was Shane Murphy second, so I thought, well, I have to be on my guard here. But all I've got to do is, it's only like a heat race from there on, so let's stay in front, do the job properly, stay very straight, and let's get the job done.
Ron took off, I couldn't catch him, and that was all she wrote.
Well, at the halfway mark of this lucrative Speedweek series, we've seen a lot happen in 2 nights of racing, Con Migro.
We certainly have. We've seen Australian champion Ron Cricky, as predicted, top dog at the moment. He's won 2 feature races and certainly looking forward to another 2 big wins. He's in outstanding form. Shane Carson is the best of the Americans, although Donnie Kreitz and Mike Sweeney are yet to open their account. But I believe that over the next couple of nights we're going to see something pretty good from those as well.
As so often it happens, Con, the local stars lift, and a couple of drivers in particular have gone up a notch. Shane Cricky has impressed me greatly.
Yes, Shane Cricky. Gavin Migro was equal top point scorer at Bunbury with Ron Cricky last Sunday night. So yeah, the West Australian guys have lifted. The standard of racing has been absolutely superb, and I don't think anyone would have gone away from either stadium disappointed about what they've seen.
Well, the Americans said yesterday to the press that they're not going to be holding back for these final 2 nights. It's all or nothing. Shane Carson's been tightening up the bumpers, and Mike Sweeney says he doesn't care if the car goes home on a dump truck. So I think we may see some aggressive racing tonight.
I think we will, but I don't think that they're the sort of men that won't go out and do stupid things. I mean, they're too talented, and let's face it, the American season is not far ahead from them, so they won't do anything stupid, but they'll drive hard and fast because it's important for them, because as everyone probably might not realise, that the results that happen here in Australia count very much for what happens in America. And if they've had a good Australian summer, the American summer makes it a lot more easier for them to go and get sponsors and attract the promoters that might want to have them racing on their tracks right across the United States of America.
Well, tonight's round 3. It's crucial for Ron Cricky. He's chasing his 4th Speedweek title in a row now. He's equalled Gary Rush's record last year from 3 in a row. Do you think he can make it 4?
I think so, and this is the 13th running of Speedweek, and every year it gets better. I'm not disappointed about the drivers I bought this year. In fact, I'm over the moon about them. They're 3 great ambassadors, true gentlemen, and I sincerely wish that more people would only come down and watch them race, because it's been wonderful. It's a great shot in the arm for Australian Speedway, and the Americans would have to be very proud of the men that are representing their country.
6 laps to the distance. Green lights are on. The way in racing now is Robbie Bates in car number 35. Michael Lawton tries to come on the outside of those drivers, but as they go into foul house for the first time and out of turn number 2, down past the quit sign, it's
Out in front, Robbie Bateman in car number 35. Then back there to Daniel Hawkins in car number 15. Further back to Michael Lawton in car number 22, doing a good job too. He's got up there. Noel Bateman there. Noel Gordon in car number 39. Jeff Leeson in 83. And bringing up the rear in car number 10 is Rod Howe. But the race leader at the moment, Rob Bateman in car number 35. Moving out of turn number, oops, he's got a little bit of understeer and oversteer that time as he moves down the main straight. Looks like Jeff Leeson's run out of motor, and Rod Howe had 4 weeks, 4 wheels on the grass, and unfortunately for Jeff Leeson, but that motor looks like it might have expired. It went upside down here at Claremont last Saturday night, January 1, but he is gone back on the racetrack here at the moment. 35, Bateman. Number 12 is Daniel Hawkins, back to 22. That driver is Michael Lawton. Number 10, Rod Howe, and 39, Gordon. But they move down the back straight at the halfway mark. Young Bateman's doing a good job in 35, and at this particular stage would have to do something pretty stupid if he was going to get beaten from here. 35, Bateman back to number 12, Hawkins, and at number 22 going very fast indeed. That driver is Michael Lawton. Well, they move through Fowl House for the second last time, down past the quit sign into Pitts Bend. The track is going to be absolutely lightning fast here tonight at Claremont Speedway. As the white flag comes out, 1 lap to go. Back to number 12, Hawkins in second place. Third place man still 22. That driver was Michael Lawton, number 10, Rod Howe, but down past the quit sign for the last time as they go into Pitts Bend. A half-track high run for young Bateman out of turn number 4 across the line first in the time of 1:57.17. Back to young Hawkins, and then back to 22, Michael Lawton, and number 10, Rod Howe. Green lights are on and away and racing now, and it's Shane Cricky from Bunbury takes the lead in the first turn. Ray Geneve in second place, then back to Mike Sweeney. Pino Priolo's come up the second back row, grabbed 2 cars. They thunder down past the quit sign for the first time. It's Shane Cricky out in front, out of turn number 4. Back in second place, Ray Geneve. Back there to car number 5, Mike Sweeney. 16, Cutsy. Number 8 is Priolo, then the national champion, Ron Cricky. Going to be some pretty desperate racing from our observation. Down past the quit sign for the second time. Shane Cricky's going at an absolute rate of knots. Moving out of turn number 4, and here comes Ron Cricky on the outside where Angel's fear to tread. Tries to get on the outside of Priolo, making the line work for him at the moment as they move through Fowl House corner and down the back straight once again. Shane Cricky's getting further ahead of Ray Geneve as they come out of turn number 4. 3 laps down and 3 to go. Shane Cricky out in front. Back in second place, Ray Geneve, then back to number 5, Mike Sweeney. 16 is Cutsy, then number 8 there is Pino Priolo and the national champion, Ron Cricky. Just touched the back of Priolo that time as they thunder out of turn number 2, down past the quit sign. 2 laps to go at the National Capital of Speed in the West Lane, a sprint car, heat number 3 at Claremont Speedway tonight, and Ron Cricky is in more trouble than the early settlers. Thundering down the back straight, out this time with a white flag, about to be shown to Shane Cricky. Shane Cricky in car number 2, back to car number 12, Ray Geneve. Then back there to number 5, Mike Sweeney. Number 16, Cutsy. 8 is Priolo, and number 1, Ron Cricky. And good driving on the part of, and he's touched Priolo again. They thunder out of the back straight for the last time, but Cutsy's got it, and so is Cricky. But out of turn number 4, Shane Cricky first, number 12, Ray Geneve second, then back to number 5, Mike Sweeney, 16, Cutsy. Number 1 is the national champion, Ron Cricky. Number 8, Pino Priolo, and 41, Big Gary Satori. The time for 6 laps, a 1:40.84.
Yeah, we had a pretty good run again. You know, it's always good to beat Ron. When you beat him, you know that you've worked pretty hard and that you've earned it. He's not the national champ for anything, and apart from that, I work with him and I like beating him. It's good fun. Makes it enjoyable.
Coming now out of turn number 4. The green lights are on, and it's Michael Lawton taking the lead into the first turn. Back there to Robbie Bateman, car number 10. They're going very well indeed as Rod Howe as they move out of turn number 4, down past the quit sign. It's Michael Lawton leading in this beautifully prepared car number 22. Back in second place and going well as Bateman, then back to third place man Rod Howe. Car number 12, young Hawkins, 39 Gordon, but at the moment Michael Lawton with the claw to the floor and looking very smooth behind the steering wheel as he moves down and towards Pitts Bend for the second time. Bateman's the big mover in second place as the halfway mark as they move down in towards Fowl House corner once again. It's car number 22, That driver being Michael Lawton. Noel Gordon Robbie Bateman starts to make his move. Back in third place is still car number 10, Rod Howe. Here comes Bateman at an absolute rate of knots. Out of turn number 4, the white flag comes out. 1 lap to go at Claremont Speedway. Michael Lawton fighting for survival. Bateman's fighting hard to get him. He just about took himself out of the ballpark. But out of turn 2, down past the quit sign for the last time, Michael Lawton with 250 metres left to go. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, car number 22, Michael Lawton across the line first. Back to 35, Rob Bateman. Number 10 there is Rod Howe. Then back to number 12, Daniel Hawkins. And the time for 4 laps, 1:11.45. And the driver's top speeds at around about 160 kilometres an hour. No place for the weak at heart, as these things with wings are about to go ballistic as they line up and come into the main straight to start the heat number 2. Off and racing now, and Gavin Mygrave quickly in the stride in the first turn. Back in second place and going very well indeed is Donny Kreitz. Back there to Peter Harvey, then back to Mark Wells. Peter Harvey shoves into Wing. Wellsy grabs third place. Mygrove leads, and good driving the part of Wellsy. Out of turn number 4 and down the main straight. 1 lap down and 5 to go. Mygrove in car number 3. Back to 21 is Mark Wells, then back to number 69, Don Kreitz. Thundering down past the quit sign. Mark Wells is absolutely burning at the moment. Out of turn number 4 and down the main straight. 2 laps down and 4 to go, and Mark Wells jumps underneath Mygrove as they go into Foulhouse corner. Mygrove in car number 3. Mark Wells in 21. 69 is Don Kreitz. Back to number 21 is young Harvey. But they thunder into pits pen again. Gavin Mygrove leads them out of turn 4 at the halfway mark. 3 down and 3 to go. Mygrove in car number 3. Mark Wells in car number 21. Brilliant sprint car action here at the moment. They thunder down out of turn number 2. Down past the quit sign. Wellsy tries to come underneath Mygrove again. Does it successfully too. They rub wheels out of turn number 4 now. Mygrove out in front. Whoa, brilliant action here at the moment. 2, car number 3, car number 21. 2 very young, experienced ex-motocross riders, and they're running wheel to wheel at the moment. Into pits bend they go. Mygrove out in front of Wellsy. Out of turn number 4. 1 lap to go. Mygrove in car number 3. 21 there is Mark Wells. Wells on the outside now. Brilliant action as Mark Wells thunders out of turn number 2. That's the way to do it, young fella. That's the way you drive. Out of turn number 4. Mark Wells across the line first. Gavin Mygrove in second place. Donny Kreitz in 69. Car number 43. Peter Harvey. Number 4. Shane Murphy. Number 12. Shane Carson. 96 there was young Ryan Farrell, and number 20 was, of course, Eddie Gobbin.
Let's have a look. Shane Cricky will get the run into turn number 1. Ron Cricky tries to follow him. He does. Now we're about to find out just how close relatives really are. Down the back straight, Ron Cricky hard down low. Shane running the half-track run. This is good. Shane Cricky improving with every drive. Storming into turn number 3 once more. Let's have a look. Shane Cricky, in about his 3rd year of sprint car racing, with a bloodline like this, he'd win the Kentucky Derby, and he's got his Uncle Ron hot on his hammer. They work their way off turn number 4 at Mach 3 with their hair on fire. Shane Cricky leads this one to number 2. Toyota, look at the time, 15.4. Come on, Uncle Ron, is that the best you've got? Well, they go into turn number 3. Shane Cricky laying the challenge squarely at the Australian champion's feet. Onto the main straight once more. Half-race distance, 3 down and 3 to go. Rangeneers back there in 3rd place. Pino Priolo back in 4th. Mike Sweeney and Terry Cutts. But Shane Cricky was always going to be tough from the front row. The Bullet would hate this. He loves to see his nephew go well, but not in this heat, not when he's leading him home. Down the back straight, 15-20 from Shane Cricky. This is great stuff. The Bunbury youngster, 24 years of age, doing it very well. Onto the main straight. 1 lap left to challenge, and this has been a champagne drive. The Shane Cricky fans will go mad. On the main straight, down the back straight. He's pulling away from Ron Cricky. Come on, Claremont fans, put your hands together. Shane Cricky gets the win. 2nd to the Bunbury Bullet, Ron Cricky. 3rd to Rangenev. Back to Pino Priolo in car number 8. Mike Sweeney and Terry Cutts. Very quick time, 1 minute 31.59. Murphy onto the main straight. Kreitz gets the jump. Let's see who leads this one. Kreitz will try to run it down low. Murphy goes with him. Look at Don Kreitz. Kreitz, he gets the outside run. Don Kreitz. Now this will be a great motor race. Look at Gavin Mygrove around the outside. Don Kreitz leads Murphy on the main straight. And the American fans try to go Donny through turn number 1 and down the back straight. Look at this, Mark Wells on the hammer, goes underneath Peter Harvey down the back straight. Oh, Harvey, good run. Took Wells right into the corner. Comes up a little bit high, and Wells, the superior horsepower, to drive out of the corner. Look at the time, 16 from John Price. We're just showing the wild one a thing or two about racing at Claremont Speedway. Going into turn number 3. Kreitz is great to watch. Let's settle back and enjoy his style. The car is very tight, and Kreitz is pulling ground on Murphy now. These heats are crucial. Shane Carson needs a stronger performance. At the moment, he's having a lot of trouble getting past Peter Harvey. Going through turn number 3 and 4, Donny Kreitz from Sinking Springs in Pennsylvania. Storms on the main straight. Drops in with a 15.48. He's been consistently in the mid to low 15s. Down the back straight, Murphy trying to manufacture something here. Mark Wells up to 3rd. 4th is Peter Harvey, hanging on grimly. Back then to Shane Carson, Eddie Gott, Gavin Wainwright, Jeff Gleason and Alan Haynes. 1 lap left to double at 15.32. The Americans getting back into this one. Come on, race back. Let's hear it for Don Kreitz. Blows away the wild one. Back then to Shane Murphy. Mark Wells closing fast. Peter Harvey, Shane Carson, Eddie Gobby, Gavin Wainwright, Jeff Gleason and Alan Haynes. 1 minute 32.57.
Yeah, we're going to do that in the feature. The heat race we started up front just don't really mean nothing.
2 chances. Trev, car number 83, Jeff Gleason. So, way in racing we go. No good. Got very sideways and Rod Howe decided they go into turn number 1. The outside run. Look at Daniel Hawkins. Here's a young man who's come through the junior ranks, junior sedans, has grown up with that dream that most of us have got. His father owns a sprint car, and here he is driving it in 3rd place at the moment. 1 lap down and 5 to travel. Rod Howe, the race leader at this stage in the Performance Mods number 10 car. A man who took his nickname to new heights a couple of weeks ago when he launched over the right rear of a competitor. Look how high Jeff Gleason is. Oh, Rob Bateman! Jeff Gleason is very hard, so too Michael Lawton. Okay, we just had regulations coming.
I don't know, I was just running an outside line, getting a good line on the outside, and there was obviously a problem underneath, and one of the inside cars took me out, you know. Put it down to racing. The stewards haven't said too much about it. It's not for me to say anything, mate. I thought I was in the clear, but 2 weeks run and this is a bad one, so we'll have to wait and see. But don't come back to me for a 3rd one, will you?
Okay, the Witch's Hat regulation coming into play now. You'll see it located down the back straight going to turn number 3. They'll pass the fence side of that Witch's Hat. Then when he drops down and goes inside it on the curb side, immediately disqualified. It stops everybody jumping the start. It works very well. And Rod Howe will lead them away. What it does is protects the leader. On the main straight, the number 10 Performance Mod sprinter of Rod Howe leads in front of Noel Gordon, Daniel Hawkins and Rob Bateman in a very nice Bakey's Auto Wreckers number 35 JSR. Down the back straight into turn number 3, Rod Howe, a former president of the Sprint Car Association of Western Australia, doing a good job in the .05 True Blue oil entry. To travel, the Rocketeer leading from Noel Gordon. That's the car that Jamie Thompson campaigned a couple of seasons ago. Car number 39 was bright pink when Jamie Thompson drove it. And now with the yellow chassis, very distinctive looking car. Let's look at Rob Bateman now on the inside of Daniel Hawkins. These two have great runs. 16.74, 1.5 laps left in front of us as they head down the back straight. Rod Howe backing it into turn number 3. Oh, look at Rob Bateman. Desperate into turn number 3. He's a hard charger by any man's means. 1 lap left to travel, and you can be sure Rob is not at all happy with 3rd place. He looks for the outside run. They get on the back straight. He'll watch the slingshot as he comes off the corner. Just had to get on the brakes momentarily. Looks for the outside run on Gordon. The win goes to Rod Howe. Good drive, Rodney. 2nd place will go to Noel Gordon just from Rob Bateman and Daniel Hawkins. Your lap time for the 4 laps, 1 minute 6.31. Mark Wells alongside Pino Priolo. Ron Cricky alongside Shane, Johnny Kreitz and Terry Cutts. Congratulations to Peter Herbert winning the Champion Spark Plugs T-shirt award. And hailing from Geraldton, who do you reckon he thinks is going to win this? Where are the Mark Wells fans? What about the Bunbury Bullet fans, Ron Cricky? Predictable if nothing less. What about the Pino Priolo fans? Shane Cricky. This is going to be awesome. Make no mistake about that. Wells on the low line. Priolo doesn't want to be caught dead. This is great stuff. Well, pulled up the surprise move on the outside. Look at Shane Carson. Round the outside of Terry Cutts. Puts himself up another position as they go into turn number 3. Migro right underneath Murphy as Priolo. Thank you very much. Priolo, let's go right up as they head down the back straight. One gets the feeling that this will go the entire 25 laps. There's going to be right down the line. Pino Priolo continuing to lead from Mark Wells. Another experience with 20 years of the high sprint car. A long way around. There's plenty of time, and Priolo, well, he wouldn't say he wasn't the favourite, but he certainly wouldn't say he was on one. Going to turn number 1, the outside line quickly. Retiring Shane Carson. The number 12 car is Murphy Wilson. Keep the car going, he doesn't. Shane Murphy does. So Carson and Murphy both out with a problem. Look at this, Priolo putting together the drive of his career to date. Down the back straight to turn number 3. Priolo rates the Speedweek up there with the state title. He would rather win this than the state title, he said earlier during the night. And wouldn't it be nice if the popular Italian privateer could score a big win in night number 3 of the Speedweek. Down the back straight to turn number 3. Wells is not closing down. Pino's really got his act together. Back there in second, Mark Wells, the Hardy Transport, 21 Murphy. Back to Ron Cricky in the old front with Murphy. We go back to a good drive from Shane Cricky. Don Kreitz holding down a strong position. Mike Sweeney, Terry Cutts, Gavin Migro, Eddie Dobby. Now this is where it goes again with the lap traffic. Priolo can't hit. Oh, nice move, Pino. But look at the ground that Wellesley's pulled. Lap traffic is going to be where it's at. Look at this traffic they've got coming up. Mike Sweeney pulls infield. Migro all over the tail of our race. Look at this, Priolo, and Cricky is closing as well. Here comes Mark Wells, and here comes Cricky. This is desperation station now. Down the back straight, Wells lines up the outside run. Priolo's got his teammate, Genev, leading this. Here comes Mark Wells. Oh, Priolo just managed to prevent the outside run from coming off. Pino has got to make something of nothing now. Down the back straight, this is outstanding racing. There's 15 laps left to go, and here comes Ron Cricky on the outside. Just hangs Mark Wells out to dry. Priolo again. Can't get through on Genev. This is costing him. Cricky's in there. This is great. Shane Cricky's in there as well. Oh, Ron Cricky. Oh, no! Cannon into him. Upside down goes Cricky. So too Wells. And we are under caution. Well, has this race not got everything? Priolo coming off turn number 4. Cricky wanted it. He tapped him from behind, rode the wheel, got a little bit skew-if. Mark Wells had nowhere to go. We're under red. Mark Wells out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. So too Ron Cricky. Let's hear it for him. Woo! What a red-hot pace. Red lights are on. The crews will come streaming out to try and make some last-minute adjustments.
And the wheel.
Got the 916.
Sean,
Keep an eye on him. The Ron Cricky challenge is over. The car unable to make it. That's a crying shame because he is one hell of a competitor. It doesn't matter whether you love him or hate him. He is a race car driver like not many been produced before in this state. And Pino Priolo now finds himself in the box seat. How's the pressure? Out goes the witch's hat down the back straight. Jeff Kendrick looking disappointed. they've done well. It's still the final night tomorrow night. Come on, Pino, or come on, Shane. This is going to be a big one. The American Don Kreitz right behind him. Away we go. Priolo gets the jump. Shane Cricky up to second. Well, Priolo didn't want to mess the start like he did last Saturday. And that was the long jumper from Priolo. Donny Kreitz up to third. Gobby running the outside line. Tries to set up Terry Cutts. Up onto the inside run on Terry Cutts. Oh, Cutts, he goes in very deep. Priolo, 15 laps at the trouble and looks a little like Terry Cutts' start. Going to be a handful, leading right over to the right-hand side. Priolo still backing into turn number 3. Has opened up the throttle on this thing and it's running like an absolute dream. 14.88. So Pino is not hanging around. Makes you wonder if it would have mattered if Mark Wells and Ron Cricky were still out there, because he is absolutely setting this place alight. Off turn number 4. Let's have a look at the time. 48.7. An absolute picture of consistency. Priolo, Shane Cricky improving in leaps and bounds with every drive. Donny Kreitz has pulled clear of Migro. Eddie Gobby's starting to charge up behind Gavin now. 12 laps left in this one, 15.02, and Priolo perhaps easing just a little. Down the back straight once more. Phil starting to spread out for this one. Pino works very hard both on the track and off. Reaps the rewards. 23 major sponsors, tells the story. 2 identical cars. A great ambassador for the sport. 15.13. So Pino's starting to ease it back just a little. Tyres might be going off a little too. A lot of things contribute to it. On the main straight, with a 14.98, just to make sure he's not letting off too much steam. Priolo drops back into the high 14s. Shane Cricky has done everything he possibly can in this one. Coming into turn number 3, holding down a consistent and strong second. This won't hurt his point score overall at all. Don Kreitz has looked good all night. The best we've seen Donny Kreitz so far. Holding down third. Look at Eddie Gobby trying to line up Gavin Migro. They come off turn number 2. Migro gets a little sideways coming off the turn, and it's difficult to get the straight line speed. Migro's car looking to be a real handful out there for him at the moment. He goes for another 10 off. He'll have to wrestle this thing around for the last 2 laps as Gobby starts to close. Okay, into turn number 1 once more. Priolo cruising around. He'd be nervous the cat in the hot tin roof, but I tell you what, he's doing it well. Doesn't appear to be showing any signs of turn. Lap traffic will again start to play a part, although it's not as hectic as it was before. James still trying to make something of nothing. 15.64. Priolo really starting to button off now. All he needs to do is just hold the thing straight for something like 6 laps, 5 laps left in front of us. 15.79. He comes up to lap traffic. You'll need to make quick work of Haynes, because Shane Cricky may be able to mount something. Closing on Shane Cricky. So all the time, this race wears on. There's still developments in it. Priolo with 4 laps left to travel. The longest 4 laps of Pino Priolo's life. This track would seem like it's about 5 kilometres long. As he goes to turn number 3, he will need to get on with it fast. He doesn't want to hang around behind Haynes. Shane Cricky is closing on him. Pino will need to get it together. This could be a very close finish. Look at Eddie Gobby work the outside run on Migro. Down the back straight once more, our race leader, Pino Priolo, with just 2 laps left to go. He may have this one in the bag, but Shane Cricky is going to make a run right down the line. So too is Donny Kreitz. Gavin Migro and Pino Priolo having a great start. Minus 1 lap left to travel, and Pino will be hanging on. White knuckles on the wheel. 1 rotation left, and Claremont Speedway sponsored by Twitch. They go down the back straight for the final time. Shane Cricky closing, Donny Kreitz closing too. Peter Harvey and Terry Cutts going through. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Pino Priolo, what a fantastic drive. The Italian student gets the win from Shane Cricky. Third to Donny Kreitz. Look at Migro right on the inside. Gobby snares him on the last corner. Migro will go across the line for 5th. Back to Peter Harvey and Terry Cutts. But there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Pino Priolo, what a great drive. Ah, that is the stuff that dreams are made of, ladies and gentlemen. He came and he did exceptionally well in the time trial, and he looked even better in the feature. Right from the outset, he made it difficult for Mark Wells. Luck's of fortune, he held on. That incident with Cricky and Wells was unfortunate. There must be a winner. As they say, the winners are grinners. The rest can do as they please. As they come onto the main straight, Shane Cricky, a great drive for second place. The young man is really maturing as a race car driver. Let's hear it for him. Donny Kreitz, a strong drive, but come on, ladies and gentlemen. What about Pino Priolo? Onto the main straight, and the man would be absolutely pumped. There's our place getters, ready to cross trackside. Shane Cricky pulls up. Priolo's crew straight across. So too most of the Kendrick guys too, which is good to see. And Don Kreitz pulling up a strong drive from him, one of the best we've seen from him so far. Now on trackside, right in the middle of all of it, Con Migro with some important guests, including Maggie Dixon from Westliner Coaches. Stephen O'Day right on the spot, getting all the action as Priolo climbs from the car without the helmet. Now we can hear, ladies and gentlemen, how about it for Pino Priolo? He is absolutely stoked with that. That is fantastic stuff.
Now, Maggie from Westliner Coaches, would you now please present the trophies, and to your company, thank you very much indeed for their wonderful support. Our third place man from Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Donny Kreitz.
Congratulations, Don. Well done.
Thank you. It was a tough race out there. I was really glad to see Pino win. Took us all out to eat the other night. He's just a really nice guy, one of the nicest people we met over here, and I was just glad we'd get up there to get a decent finish for once.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donny Kreitz. And in second place, would you please present to Shane Cricky.
Congratulations, Shane. It was a very exciting race.
So, thanks very much to Claremont Speedway and to Tui's Blue. I'd like to thank Westliner Coaches for presenting the trophies tonight. And I'd like to thank all my crew. They've worked very hard, all my sponsors, and congratulations to Pino. He really deserves it.
And another man from Osborne Park, and if you go to BP Kerry Motors tomorrow morning, he'll knock a couple of cents off a litre. I bet you my bottom dollar. Maggie, would you now please present first prize to Pino Priolo?
Congratulations, Pino. Well done.
What about 3 cheers? Hip hip. Come on a bit louder. Hip hip. Hip hip. Good on you, Pino. Congratulations, mate. General, what are you doing, son?
First it's the dinghy,
John,
now it's
John
the
wants to get on the act on you, but Pino, congratulations. You look like a brand new driver here at the moment. New lease of life. Thanks for all your help in the last few weeks with the American boys, and I really think that it's the same old saying in life, what you put in, you get out, and I think you've done a huge amount off the track and on the track. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks very much, Con Migro, and thank you to Tui's Blue, Coastline Tours. People like this make it so much better because when you win, it's great. I'd just like to thank all my sponsors and IKEA especially. They really get behind me. I won't name them all, there's too many. My crew that are just absolutely fabulous at the moment. And a big special thanks to Ricky Jeneff and Ray Jeneff. They've really got me going, and I hope you're going to see a lot of us around, believe me. Thank you very much. And don't forget, tomorrow night, Bunbury City Speedway, we'll be there, hard and strong.
Pino Priolo, ladies and gentlemen. Now do a lap of honour. Don't forget to yell, scream and shout. And this is what we all come here for, to see these great drivers compete here on the Speedway. And Wade, over to you, mate.
Thanks, Con. Well, Pino, looks like the aerobics have been paying off. Very strong drive from him, and a true mark of Pino is that he, of course, gets so much respect from his other drivers, and when they all are very pleased to see him take the win, you know he's been working hard. Due to our time curfew drawing ominously near, in fact, we're dead on 10:30. We cannot conduct event number 17, the Modified Street Sedan feature. We do apologise for that. We hope and we trust and we know you've enjoyed a great night's racing here at Claremont Speedway, sponsored by Quit. Feature results straight through for event number 18. A good performance. Paul DeLacy took the win from Brad Blake and car number 0. 1:43 as Tony Giancola. The last 3 laps went down to 1 minute flat, .22. Come on the main straight. Let's hear it for our place getters. Pino Priolo took the win. Shane Cricky second. And third, Donny Kreitz from Pennsylvania. Should be very pleased with his effort tonight. Got back up there. Drove well all night. Time tried well. Looked good in the heats. And and a strong finish in the feature.
Talking to Shane Cricky, who is the current points leader for the Sprint Car Speedweek series. Shane, you must be pretty pleased with what's happened so far.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with our series up to date. You know, we haven't won a main yet, but we've run a couple of seconds and a third. So really, Speedweek is sticking together 4 nights over the 2 different circuits, and I think it's to win it is probably, to me, I feel it's a lot more prestigious than a state title. It's just one of those events that I think everybody would like to win. With the Americans here, you know, you really do have to try that hard, but Ron's only 4 points behind, so he's going to be pretty tough to crack.
Ron, you must be fairly happy at the moment. You're in second place, is that right?
Yeah, I'm not fairly happy though. I'd rather be in first place and happy.
All right, we just talked to, I guess, nephew Shane. He's pretty rapt at this stage. He's in first spot, although he's pretty nervous that you're only, I think, 4 points behind.
Yeah, there's only 4 points in it after last night. We got to the water some points for starting the feature, so it's not a big gap. It's something which has to be bridged, and we'll be doing our best to get there.
Is the car spot on?
The car will be good because, you know, our spare parts, we've got a lot of parts, and we've got good guys working on the car, so we'll, as I say, we'll be doing our best and hoping for a #1 position at the end of the night.
I guess, unfortunately for you, that incident last night at Claremont where you dipped out on finishing the feature race, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, it was just like a drive. It wasn't even a driver error. It was sort of something that happened. I crashed going for the lead. You know, it happens at times. It would have been good to pass that guy. You know, he moved up a little. He didn't know I was there. And it would, as I say, it would have been good to pass him. Would have won the race and could have been a comfortable margin in front starting tonight. So, but like it's not that way. We're 4 points down, and there's a motor race to be won.
Are you confident?
No, I'm never confident. We're going to, as I say, we're here to do our best. We've got the best gear. I think I'm driving probably the best I ever have at the moment, and we want to get the job done. So, you know, I think anyone that's going to stop us tonight will have to have their gear and their wits about them. So, as I say, it's going to be a good challenge and a tough tussle by the end of the night.
Talking to one of the visiting drivers, Shane Carson. How do you feel tonight, Shane?
Well, so far so good. We had a motor problem last night, but we'll try to come through with a good finish tonight. We made some changes on the engine, got it running up to par, I hope.
And how do you feel the series has gone for you over the 3 nights so far, and of course last night tonight at Bunbury?
Well, up until last night we was pretty consistent. We was always right up front, timed in the top 3 or 4, and then last night we dropped out of the A feature, and that's what we needed. So we slipped a little bit in points, but we'll see what happens.
And how do you find your car at the moment?
I think it'll be fine. We just we'll get out there and hot lap it and I'll let you know.
Okay, heat number 2 of the Tooheys Blue Sprint Car Speed Week. Daryl Cricky on the inside of the USA ace, Michael Sweeney, with Gavin Migro looking for the high line earlier on. Ron Cricky has seen the benefit of it, and he's trying out the big moves on the outside now. Murphy on the inside of Daryl Cricky. So they work through turn number 3 and 4. Look at this. Shane Murphy on the inside of Daryl Cricky. Ron Cricky working the outside of his young son in car number 95 and chasing hard on the tail of Shane Murphy as they head into turn number 3. There's the battle on screen. Ron Cricky on the inside of Shane Murphy, who takes him on, and Murphy just closed the door. Shane Murphy, the 4X, Ron Cricky in the 1 car. This is the battle for 3rd place. Mark Wells a little bit up ahead in 2nd. Our race leader is the USA ace, Mike Sweeney from Hollywood in California. And Sweeney doing an outstanding job. Out in front, the beautiful number 5 Gambler, running a little high off the turn, giving Mark Wells a bit of latitude. This battle between Mark Wells and Mike Sweeney is expected to last for the duration of this event. If Wells can get through, you get the feeling Sweeney will have a lot of trouble catching him. There he is on screen, car number 21, Mark Wells, the man we call the Gerald Jet. And look at Wellsy now, starting to get right inside the American ace, Sweeney. Sweeney want to hold a nice tight line and make Wells go for the outside run. Into turn number 1 once more. Murphy now starting to get up into the picture for the battle for 3rd place. Here comes Wells again, looking for the inside run. And this is on in 2 packs at the moment. Sweeney still leading, Wells wearing him like a glove. Murphy is in with a chance at this. Time is running out. We're about 1.5 laps away from the checkers, but Murphy is finishing fast. Look at this, the American holding out 3 West Aussies. Wells pouncing now on the inside. Sweeney wants to hang it down low, or Wells, you get a run on the inside. Down the back straight, Mike Sweeney is too clever. Going into turn number 3, Cricky having a go at Murphy in the back for 3rd, but Mike Sweeney, here comes Wells. How would you split them? Sweeney gets the win. Mark Wells for 2nd. 3rd to Shane Murphy. 4th to Ron Cricky. Back to Daryl Cricky. Terry Cutts and Donnie Crichton, car number 69K. Heat number 3 of the Tooheys Blue Sprint Car Speed Week. The final night of competition, and Shane Cricky tonight has a big chance of winning his first Speed Week crown. Pino Priolo, however, couldn't wake him up. They head down the back straight. Would be a dream run for Shane Cricky if he could take out tonight's event. He's 16 points clear of Ron Cricky going into tonight's final round. But Pino Priolo, after his outstanding form last night in Claremont and winning the final, he set the fastest time, ran strong in the heats and won the feature. And Priolo is a difficult man to beat out there at the moment. Eddie Gobby at the moment having a few hassles trying to get by Shane Cricky. And as they head into turn number 1 and 2, Gobby trying to run the low line. Shane Cricky at this stage a little too quick in a straight line. Pino Priolo is absolutely bolted, but continuing to lead this is car number 8, Priolo. But this battle for 2nd is enthralling. Eddie Gobby throwing the car around, trying in vain to catch Shane Cricky in car number 2. When they come through turn number 3 and 4, they seem to be all gaining on Pino Priolo to some extent. Eddie Gobby, the car is very tight. Here comes Shane Carson as well. So the $12 USA car of Shane Carson about to figure prominently in this top 3 battle. Priolo leading, Shane Cricky in 2nd, Eddie Gobby in 3rd, and now Oklahoma's Shane Kit Carson. There's Shane Cricky on our screen now. He has pulled a little bit clear of Eddie Gobby for 3rd at this stage, trying to pull out something that will help him make up this ground that Pino Priolo's got over him for the race lead. Priolo seems to be adapting to this circuit a lot better than last weekend, where he had more than a few problems coming to grips with the Bunbury clay. Onto the main straight, Priolo 1 lap left to travel. Shane Cricky trying in vain, using a bit of a higher line that time around. Gobby will hold down 3rd, Carson holding on to 4th, Ryan Farrell a distant 5th with Peter Harvey 6th. Here comes Pino Priolo, strong drive, strong finish. Priolo the victor. Shane Cricky 2nd, Eddie Gobby tried hard for 3rd, and Shane Carson trying to make something of nothing to get that 3rd place, filling out the top 4. The time for the event, 2 minutes 6.86. This time around, we should get a start in heat number 4 of the Tooheys Blue Sprint Car Speed Week. night number 4. Okay, ready on to start this. Looks like a pretty good launch. Donny Kreitz on the outside of Ron Cricky. Mark Wells in this one as well. As they head down the back straight, yellow lights are on. Terry Cutts in alongside Mark Wells from row 2. Shane Murphy alongside Mike Sweeney and Daryl Cricky from position number 7. Looks like a pretty good lineup from here. On the main straight, let's have a look how they form for the greens. Green lights are on. Ron Cricky takes Donny Kreitz very high. Mark Wells looking for the outside run on Cutts. Murphy's in there as well. Mike Sweeney pushing them both. They head down the back straight. Wells and Cutts having a good scrap. Murphy in there as well. Ron Cricky has cleared away. Look at Mike Sweeney pushing for a better position as he rounds up Terry Cutts. Daryl Cricky as well, and there was Shane Murphy. Murphy rounds up Cutts now. Sweeney sets sail after him. Still leading this one. Ron Cricky out in front and blitzing the field. Donny Kreitz from Pennsylvania back there in second. You can see Kreitz working the wheels. He heads down the back straight. In the USA 69K Gambler. Running through turn number 4. Onto the main straight. Kreitz ran a strong third last night at Clermont's feature race. Back there in third place in this heat, Mark Wells. Shane Murphy holding down 4th. Terry Cutts in 5th. Mike Sweeney and Daryl Cricky. Speaking of Cricky, how about this man? 2-time Australian Sprint Car champion Ron Cricky. Won a couple of state titles in there as well. And this weekend, he chases his 4th Speedweek crown in succession. Last year when he picked up his 3rd in a row, he equaled the great Gary Rush's record. And tonight, if he can round up a big feature race win and Shane Cricky doesn't do particularly well, then Ron Cricky has his 4th Speedweek title and history will be made. Back in the field, the battle for 3rd is on in earnest between Shane Murphy and Mark Wells. They come onto the main straight. What a great battle it is. We see Kreitz go past. Wells and Murphy finding out World War 3 back in for 3rd. Ron Cricky with 1 lap left to travel. It's all too easy for him. This car getting around very quickly. Donny Kreitz hasn't let him get too far away. Down the back straight for the final time. Ron Cricky looks for the race. He takes it. Look at this battle for 3rd between Murphy and Wells. And they come off turn number 4. Wells on the outside. Murphy on the inside. Oh, who will get that? Shane Murphy, by the looks of things, will get the nod for 3rd. Mark Wells for 4th. Terry Cutts for 5th. Mike Sweeney for 6th with Daryl Cricky off the line for 7th. Carson, night number 4 of the Speedweek series. Last night, a little bit of disappointment for you with the engine. Did you work out what the problem was?
Well, we found a couple of broke valve springs, so they got those fixed, and hopefully it'll be a little bit faster in the feature tonight.
This track's a little bit different to the last time you raced it last weekend.
Actually, the track tonight's beautiful. It's perfect. I mean, you should have some really good racing. I'm not going as good on it as I'd like to, but the racing should be good. The track's good.
You've had some tough starting positions in your heats. That makes it hard.
Yeah, I kind of thought I was going to be on the front of that last one, but it didn't work out that way. So, you know, we just do what we can do.
Now, so far, you're sitting, I think it's about 4th or 5th overall in the point score. You need a strong result tonight to get some sort of better result overall.
Yeah, I've got to gain some positions. Kreitz moved ahead of me in the overall points up into 4th, and I dropped back to 5th. I'd kind of like to finish in the top 3 if I could.
Now, you can hear the noise in the background, and we can actually see the smoke from here. Burnout competitions, I don't suppose you got that in America in the speedways?
I've never seen anything quite like this.
It's quite strange, the crowd really get into it. They seem to scream more for a burnout competition than they do for a good heat race. Mate, so far, the top 6, are you involved in that?
Yes I am. I'll be out in what they call the knockout competition. I'll be in it.
Good. Now, what about this feature race? Any idea where you're going to be lining up in that yet?
I really don't. You know, they have such a strange way of doing their lineups. So we just wait until it's up and we go.
Has it been a good trip for you, Shane? Have you enjoyed yourself apart from the racing?
It really has. You know, we've got to do a lot of things that we wouldn't normally get to do, and we've met a lot of people that we've got along with. You know, hopefully they'll come to the U.S. and we can take care of them too.
Hopefully we'll see you back next year, Shane. It's great to see you race here.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you, boy.
Okay, the 2-lap knockout starting out now. Michael Sweeney from Hollywood, California, alongside local boy Pino Priolo and Mike's travelling companion Randy Hawk, we call him. Randy, first of all, mate, has it been a good series so far for you? Have you enjoyed your first trip down under?
I've enjoyed it immensely. I've had a perfectly wonderful time.
Now Mike's a little bit of a horsepower disadvantage here, but in his first heat he drove heady and he drove smart and he was able to keep them out. If he can beat Priolo to the line here, I think he's in with a big shake.
Well, this is my first experience with the knockout races, and I hope he can. You know, and I think he can. I believe he's probably going to run him a little bit wide and yeah, be able to sneak by him with this.
The outside groove could be the way to go. Let's have a look and see how Priolo fares alongside Michael Sweeney. Both drivers at the opposite end of the experience scale. Priolo now in his 4th season and Mike Sweeney with over 20 years of sprint car racing under his belt, albeit the majority of them without the assistance of a main wing. So they come around nice and slow, 2-lap knockout. The winner stays in, the loser heads to the infield. Well, Sweeney got a good start. Let's have a look. He's got Priolo into the first turn. So Priolo's going to have to work for it now. Mike Sweeney is an intelligent driver and Priolo will really have to work hard if he's going to make something out of this. They come off turn number 4 and Priolo loses it. Heads infield. This one is all over. Mike Sweeney draws first blood for the USA. Heads down the back straight. Well, we knew that if he could get clear, Priolo was going to have a big hassle in getting past him. Checkered flag out. Mike Sweeney, good drive. Well, Randy, we said that Mike was going to be in with a chance if he could get to the first turn first. He's an intelligent driver, a lot of experience under that right foot.
Yeah, he's got experience. Now he's going under somebody with more experience or the same amount of experience with a real quick car, very quick car.
Yeah, Shane Carson has looked pretty strong this tour. He's currently lying about 4th or 5th overall. The American playoff here, and this should be interesting. Shane Carson alongside Sweeney. Now the outside groove will be the way to go, I think. We'll probably see the 5 car just try to edge forward a little as they come off turn number 4. See if Sweeney can't get a bit of an advantage onto the main straight. The Americans enjoy travelling together, but when you get out in the racetrack, it is every man for himself. It's a good, slow build-up. Let's have a look who gets the jump. Sweeney uses the outside groove. Oh, Carson very fast into turn number 1. Shower of sparks from Sweeney. And look at this horsepower advantage that Carson has. Opens up the $12 car onto the main straight, and Carson absolutely hauling it onto the main straight. Sweeney pulls infield. And Shane Carson into turn number 3 for the final time. Wraps up the second knockout. He will go on to take on Ron Cricky in the next one. Carson survives. Well, Shane Carson, a good strong run there, Andy, though I feel that Mike might have shut down the engine with a lap to go to save it for the feature.
Yeah, you're right about that. I think he just wants the motor to run and to let live through the feature. Give the fans a good show here.
Well, I would say that Carson stands a good chance of being moved up track by Cricky here as they go through turn number 3 and 4. and Cricky will try to move him up into the loose dirt. Mind you, Shane Carson's up there himself at the moment. Look how high he's running on this track. Oh, Carson drops down low. Green lights remain on. I did feel that Cricky enjoyed a bit of an advantage on that start as they go into turn number 3. Carson trying to run down low back at Cricky onto the main straight. The Australian Sprint Car champion having his last hurrah before he heads east to defend his title at Warrnambool Speedway in Victoria. Down the back straight, that number 1 car, extremely quick in a straight line. And the number 1, Quint Murphy of Ron Cricky, through and disposes of Shane Carson. Well, from our viewpoint, it certainly appeared to me that Cricky enjoyed a little bit of an advantage coming off turn number 4. I thought Shane was a bit stiff there.
Yeah, I think they should bump his motor.
Well, you're never controversial, Randy. That's what we like about you. Donnie Kreitz coming out now to try and take care of Cricky. Donnie Kreitz is an outstanding competitor, and he's having a better run so far. He's lying like 3rd overall in the series.
Yeah, I believe so. He started out a little bit sluggish at the beginning. His car's popping a little bit. Now I think they got it straightened out real well.
Okay, Ken. Donnie Kreitz take care of Ron Cricky. Well, that was not entirely unpredictable. This is as much a war of nerves as anything. You got to try and psych out your opponent, and Kreitz just giving Ron Cricky a bit of a look at the tail tank, I think.
I think so. I believe you're absolutely right.
Okay, out comes the board saying to Don Kreitz, pull back into position, take it easy. And Donnie will be trying to mess with Ron Cricky's mind is the best way to put it. And look at them rubbing as they come through turn number 1 and 2. Kreitz trying to move him up track. Watch for the McCreary shuffle from Donnie Kreitz on the right rear. Let's have a look what happens with this one. This looks like a better lineup. Oh, this time it's Cricky who jumps and Donnie Kreitz doesn't want to let him go. Onto the main straight. Kreitz, he gets him on the outside. Well, Ron Cricky is going to have to drive the race of his life now. Donnie Kreitz, one of the hottest sprint car drivers in the world. He's gone high. And Cricky gets him underneath. Cricky takes him back. Well, Don Kreitz just drifted up track a little, and that was all that Ron Cricky needed. As he heads down the back straight, Ron Cricky coming from the back to take out Donnie Kreitz. He storms onto the main straight and collects the win. Had to do it the hard way. And Donnie Kreitz gets sent back to the infield. Well, I thought that Donnie Kreitz just about had Cricky then, Randy. Just stormed in a little bit too deep going into turn number 3 and allowed Cricky the chance to have a look.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, maybe they had to check his cylinder heads.
Are we doing wrestling here, or is this sprint car racing? The car number 1, the Quint Murphy of the Australian Sprint Car champion, Ron Cricky. But Shane Cricky in car number 2 has looked very impressive, and going into tonight's event, he leads Ron Cricky by 16 points. And this youngster is chasing his first ever Speedweek crown. The fact that Ron Cricky is Shane Cricky's uncle will matter not in this little exchange. Shane Cricky will start from the low line. Oh! Yes, well, we predicted it. There's a lot of feeling between these two Crickies. And Shane is giving it to Ron. Look at this. Ron Cricky trying to psych out the youngster Shane Cricky. Let's have a look how this one goes. Oh, Shane pulled back. Ron kept going. Yellow lights are on. Water appears to be thicker than blood here, Andy.
Doesn't seem to make any difference, does it?
Not at all. And the members of the bar right behind us here in our commentary position seem to be pretty well in Shane Cricky's favour at this stage. And these two are really going at it in just the lineup. Let's see if they rub wheels yet again. No, looks pretty even from here. Very popular event, this knockout series. And look at these two. Shane Cricky on the inside, Rod on the outside. The outside groove has been the way to go. Let's see what he can do. Onto the main straight we come. Shane Cricky inside, yes! Can he do it? Ron Cricky now, again, gonna have to come from the back. Well, Shane Cricky is looking very good. He backs the number 2, Bunbury Toyota Gambler, off turn number 4, onto the main straight, and he is pulling away. Shane Cricky surprising everybody here, none more so than Ron Cricky. Down the back straight for the final time. It's in the bag. Shane Cricky blowing away the older adversary. Ron Cricky, there's the win. Good drive, Shane Cricky. Ron Cricky forced to play second fiddle, and Shane Cricky comes out and blows him away. Shane Cricky needs a good start. He'll need to finish in front of Ron Cricky. This point series is very interesting. Wells is getting pretty pushy as well. Everybody looks pretty tense. Let's have a look at the start now. Away we go. Shane Cricky on the outside of Satori. The Americans running 3 wide. Down the back straight. Let's have a look at him now. Shane Cricky leading from Eddie Gobby in car number 20. Mark Wells up to 3rd. Ron Cricky blew the start. Back in 4th. Oh, Eddie Gobby on the inside. Trying to go with Shane Cricky down the main straight. Look at this. Eddie Gobby goes on the inside of Shane Cricky. Shane comes back at him on the inside. Onto the main straight. 2 down. 23 laps remaining. Night number 4, the Dewey's Blue Sprintcar Speedweek. And Mark Wells back in 3rd. Here comes our race leader, fast Eddie Gobby. Wants a feature race win badly. Shane Cricky in 2nd, Mark Wells in 3rd, Ron Cricky in 4th, Shane Murphy in 5th, back to Shane Carson, Pino Briolo, Don Kreitz, Terry Cutts, Peter Harvey and Mike Sweeney. But Eddie Gobby feeling off some fast lap times, 15:34. There's Ron Cricky running 4th overall. Chasing Mark Wells, they head down the back straight. Ron would be less than pleased with his starting so far and really needs a restart if he's in with a chance of hauling Gobby back in. Now, Ron Cricky starting to work Mark Wells under the hammer. Shane Cricky holding down a consistent 2nd place. I suspect that might be all he needs to wrap up the series if he can stay in 2nd. Ron Cricky monstering the tail now of Mark Wells in car number 21. Down the back straight into turn number 3. Cricky needs to get on with the job. He needs to put Mark Wells out of the picture, put himself into 3rd and start harassing Shane Cricky for 2nd. But at this stage, Mark Wells in the 21 car seems to have his measure. Eddie Gobby coming up to lap traffic very shortly. There's Shane Cricky running 2nd. The youngster really having a day out for this Speedweek series. Tonight, he has a big chance of wrapping up his first ever Speedweek championship win. Mike Sweeney sportingly allows Eddie Gobby through. Down the back straight, Gobby is absolutely storming through this field. Onto the main straight, fast Eddie Gobby. The beautiful N&L Transport City and Regional Fuels 20 car really has jumped this field and stonewalled away from anybody who looked like being a threat. Shane Cricky got the best of the start, but Eddie played it cool and raced back into the race lead, and look at the form he's putting in at the moment. Now Field storming through the camera at the moment, waiting to pick up Eddie Gobby again. Here he comes, right at our camera, running down low. The car is set up beautifully. Oh no! Shane Cricky has locked up with Peter Harvey, and this is all happening. If Shane Cricky can't finish this, the Speedweek could well go to Ron Cricky. Eddie Gobby fired up. The restart brings up some interesting matchups. Gobby will lead them away. Shane Cricky's gone to the rear as being a part of the restart. Let's have a look what happens from here. Wells trying to chase Gobby. Shane Cricky needs a strong run from the back of the field. Gobby leads him away. Wells still in second. Cricky still for third, but here comes Shane Murphy trying to rain on Ron Cricky's parade as they go into turn number 3. Shane Cricky already started to forge his way back through this field. There's Shane Murphy doing a strong job, holding on to 4th place at the moment with Shane Carson right on his hammer. Onto the main straight, here's our race leader, fast Eddie Gobby in car number 20. Shane Carson and Shane Murphy going for it. Shane Carson storming up to 4th place. Here's our race leader once more, Eddie Gobby, and there's the gap. Back to second, Mark Wells, Ron Cricky in 3rd, Shane Carson in 4th, Shane Murphy in 5th now. Priolo, you just saw him going through for 6th. Donnie Kreitz retires the 69 car. Here's our battle for second, Mark Wells and Ron Cricky going for it. Wells heads down the back chute. Has given up trying to chase Eddie Gobby. It is all too hard. This car is hauling the freight. The NL Transport City and Regional Fuels car just dynamite on this bumpery circuit. And Gobby wheeling it around here like a pro. Onto the main straight. The car looking a treat, handling like a dream, and Gobby enjoying this. Peter Harvey going infield in the 43 car. Let's look at the gap now. Quite significant, the length of the main straight. Gobby enjoying this. Laps are starting to tick by now. Onto the main straight once more, 15:18. The times are very consistent. He's right down the low 15-second bracket. There's Mark Wells. Consistent weekend for him, marred by a couple of race accidents. And Wells, it's good to see him back behind the wheel, returning on a full-time scale from this point on. There's Ron Cricky. He knows his 3rd place is crucial to the overall scheme of things in terms of a point score. Ron Cricky chasing hard. He would love second, but at this stage, that almost seems out of the question. Shane Carson's had a strong drive up to 4th. Shane Murphy for 5th. Pino Briolo for 6th. Shane Cricky for 7th. Terry Cutts, and here comes Eddie Gobby, looking set to lap the traffic as he rockets down the back straight into turn number 3. Gobby answering the critics with a powerhouse drive. 1 lap left to go, and Eddie Gobby cruising into victory lane. The number 20 car has been on song all night, and Eddie Gobby has torn this field apart. Onto the main straight, a popular win coming up. Eddie Gobby gets the win. Nearly wipes out the wall. Mark Wells gets second. Ron Cricky for 3rd. Shane Carson for 4th. Shane Murphy for 5th. Pino Priolo. We go back to Shane Cricky in 7th. Terry Cutts in 8th. The time, 3 minutes 18.82. And Eddie Gobby was so happy as he took the flag, raised the left hand and pumped it into the air. And here he comes onto the main straight now, the crowd loving it. The local boy does good. Ron Cricky pulling up alongside him to congratulate him. Leans the arm out and says, "Well done, Edward. What a drive from fast Eddie Gobby.